says we have just received shocking footage moments ago appearing to show 3 large creatures emerging from the forest.
Oh my God.
Let's have a look at the power that the camera holds when it comes to capturing the unbelievable. From a giraffe eating bones and cows with holes to a turtle teasing a lion and the masters of disguise. We have for you times when a camera was at hand at the right moment. A deer surprise. Talking about cameras capturing the very right moment, this deer thought it should contribute something too. The girl is actually a blogger, and she was trying not to disturb the deer near. She was hiding from them, not knowing that one was right behind her waiting to give her a surprise. Before moving any further, like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon so you can keep watching our amazing content. A camouflage master. Yes, we're talking about the octopus, also known as the camouflage master. And this clip will show how unbelievable their skill to disguise is. I mean, it wasn't even there a second ago. How did that happen? And to make this more interesting, you should know that the octopus is actually colorblind too. So how did it even do that? How could it blend so perfectly with something it can't even see properly? These are some questions which have forever remained unanswered, and the octopus remains as one of the unsolved mysteries of the ocean. Duck versus tiger. In this video, a captive tiger is trying to catch a duck in a small pond. Despite its best efforts, the duck repeatedly goes into the water and escapes the tiger's grasp. This goes on for several minutes as the tiger tries to catch the elusive duck, but to no avail. The scene is both humorous and endearing as the duck proves to be too quick and cunning for the big cat. The contrast between the powerful tiger and the clever duck makes it one of the most entertaining and surprising clips humans have ever captured.
A mysterious creature's hand. This terrifying trail camera film was recorded in Canada's dense forest. The camera's owners did not anticipate seeing anything like this when they set it up in a specific hunting spot in the woods close to their home. As you can see from the footage, a big hand that appears from behind the trail camera and tries to grab it is definitely out of the ordinary. Because of its enormous fingers and hairy arms, it almost looks like an alien. People immediately pointed out that they believe it might be a curious Sasquatch or perhaps a werewolf that is trying to hide its tracks. The fact that it knew to approach the camera from behind is genuinely scary. It's unclear what the tape actually shows, but perhaps that is for the best. Sometimes we are lucky we don't know what bizarre creatures are truly hiding in the deepest parts of the woods. Eagle and fox. Normally, eagles target smaller animals, but today is a different story, as a gigantic eagle soars in an attempt to catch this evading mammal. The fox is attempting to flee, but the eagles are simply too swift and strong. In the end, the eagle triumphs, serving as a stark reminder of the animal kingdom's ruthlessness and the principle of survival of the fittest. Wandering squirrel. Changing the tone a bit to a more intriguing trail cam capture, this trail camera captured a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. As you can see, a squirrel is perusing the woodland floor, likely in search of something to eat, when unexpectedly, a hawk soars straight for a squirrel. Just in time, the squirrel discerns what is happening. The hawk sees what's going on, avoids the attack, and manages to flee unharmed. The hawk then crashes into a tree. It is still unknown where the squirrel is today, but we're confident that it is fine. And as for that hawk, well, he also flies away relatively unharmed. Creepy crawler. Strolling in the field in the daytime while exploring the woods at midnight, the strange, creepy, dark figure has created a buzz through the internet, as its face is not visible in any of these 2 pieces of footage. However, after a few days, another video was posted in which a shadowy creature that almost looked like that dark figure was seen invading a backyard. This time, its frightening features were also captured clearly through the camera. People believe that the creepy crawler shown in the different footage was the same. However, its exact identification is still a mystery. If any of you know more about it, please let us know by commenting below. Werewolf encounter. It's a common myth that werewolves mostly come out during a full moon, but 3 years back in Brazil, a man had claimed to have had a close encounter with a werewolf on a pitch-black night. The horrific beast was seen hiding behind a wooden structure after it emerged from the dark forest. Yet after realizing it was being watched by someone, it quickly jumped out and made an attempt to attack the guy filming it. But luckily, the guy managed to escape, and all he could get was just a glimpse of that werewolf that was trying to invade his only backyard. Beast of Dark. With certain evidence of their existence, another werewolf surfaced through social media when it made an attempt to attack a lady. The lady was searching for her lost dog in a forest, when suddenly she saw a scary, wolf-like creature that emerged from the dark while walking on its 2 legs. Despite using a flashlight, she could only see the frightening features of the beast, but that according to her, it was nothing else than a wolfman. But I'm not sure if it was actually a wolfman or not, as the footage shows just a glimpse of it. So what's your opinion, guys? Bear inspecting trail cam. Do you still believe that it's only the mythical creatures that come out at night to investigate? Because next, we have very strange footage that shows someone with thick, hairy limbs trying to take charge of a trail camera. After using its giant hand to unfasten the camera, the huge, curious bear tried to grab the camera with its mouth. In most cases, a bear's strong jaws can smash down the camera completely. But as this video suddenly ended, I'm not sure what might have happened to the camera. Can any of you tell me further? Hidden striker. Trail cams have always captured the attention of wild critters. This time, a trail cam installed somewhere in Japan became the victim of a hidden striker. Moving the camera from left to right, the unknown beast was trying every possible effort to take the camera off the tree while standing at the back. Well, when striking from behind didn't work, the hidden animal appeared on the front and turned out to be a wild boar that was still trying to remove the mysterious device from the tree.
A strange hiding creature. This guy was exploring the jungle, being all adventurous when he stumbled upon a cave. Of course, he couldn't resist going in to check it out. But guess what? He found something he never expected. A creepy creature crawling towards him in the dark. Talk about a heart-pounding moment. He ran out of there as fast as his feet could carry him. We still don't know what that thing was, but it definitely wasn't Spider-Man. A levitating girl. So this Russian guy was out walking in the woods with his dog, having a nice stroll. Suddenly, his dog stopped listening to him and started barking at something. That's when the guy decided to point his camera in that direction. And guess what? He recorded something that shocked not only him, but the whole world. There was a woman with a child, but instead of standing or running like normal humans, the child was floating in the air, and the woman was just staring at her. As soon as they noticed someone nearby, they both ran away. A close call. Imagine a man was having a great time hiking in the mountains, feeling all one with nature. But guess what? His peaceful adventure took a wild turn when he realized he was being chased by a mountain lion. Can you imagine the adrenaline rush? He ran for his life as soon as he saw and heard the lion following him. Luckily, he scared the lion away with a mighty roar. A mermaid skeleton. So there's this video that popped up showing what they say is a mermaid skeleton found on a hidden beach. The footage showed a skull that looked like a human and some tailbones. But wait a minute, before you get all worked up, turns out it's not as legit as it seemed. The whole thing is pretty suspicious, and people quickly dismiss the bones as a hoax. A scary road. In the deep forest, there's this creepy road surrounded by tall trees. The moonlight makes the shadows look really spooky on the ground. All of a sudden, a camera starts recording, and it catches something super scary. You can hear strange noises getting louder and closer, like something unknown is coming. It becomes clear that whatever is making those sounds isn't human. The camera shows these creepy figures moving really fast between the trees, and their eyes glow in the dark, giving you the chills.
Brave calf and the wolf. In a heart-stopping moment, a calf's life hung in the balance as it faced a fierce battle with a cunning wolf. Its mother bravely fought to protect her young from the predator's grasp, demonstrating the fierce determination of motherly love in the animal kingdom. The struggle for survival unfolded before the viewers, leaving them in awe of the untamed forces of nature. The brave calf's fight for life and the mother's fierce defense of her offspring shows what it takes to survive in the wilderness. The tentacles of the deep. During a fierce storm, a trail camera witnessed a sight both awe-inspiring and spine-chilling. Massive tentacles emerging from the water, evoking the mythical kraken of legend. The vast ocean depths hold untold secrets, and this glimpse of colossal sea creatures leaves viewers wondering maritime myths and legends. The existence of such behemoths challenges conventional knowledge about our oceans. Cameras offer brief glimpses of these creatures, leaving us with more questions than answers about the wonders hidden within our oceans. Snow beast's cryptic appearance. Amidst the snowy peaks, a group of tourists witnessed a mysterious figure lurking among the dense woods. Its size and walk evoke legends of the mythical Yeti, a creature etched in folklore and mystery. The sight of this mysterious being leaves the tourists awestruck and wondering the mysteries that the wilderness holds. Speculations arise, and stories are shared around the campfire, each attempting to unknot the mysteries of the snow beast. What do you think it was? The wolf and the dog. A forest echoed with the barks of a courageous dog as it faced off against a wolf. The tension was intense as the two predators confronted each other. The fierce encounter serves as a stark reminder of the law of survival in the wild, where only the strongest and most cunning prevail. As the dog valiantly defended its territory and the wolf staked its claim, viewers were left both amazed and scared. The Serbian Navaharka. Under the haunting moonlit night, a solitary figure dances on a desolate road in Serbia, shrouded in mystery. Locals claim this ghostly woman is none other than Navajarka, a vengeful entity from Serbian folklore. Her tragic past drives her to confront and harm lone travelers at night, leaving a trail of fear in her wake. The eerie encounters of aggression only fuel the legend. Is this video a real-life encounter with Navajarka, or merely a product of folklore come to life? Regardless, it is a haunting sight that calls forth the unknown and delves into the enigma of the
bear. When a wildlife channel placed cameras in the jungle, their goal was to capture footage of animals being themselves. What they didn't expect was to witness bears shaking their behinds and moving like Shakira in the woods. Just like us humans, bears get itchy sometimes. But unlike us, they scratch their backs on trees, and they absolutely love doing it. I mean, look at them. A woman stabbing herself. You won't believe what I just saw in this video. So it was late at night, and this guy was driving his usual route when he came across something super creepy. He was like, nope, I'm turning back and getting out of here. There was this ghostly woman in the middle of the road, holding a knife, and she was actually stabbing herself. Can you imagine? What would you do if you witnessed that? Animals reacting to reflections. There was a French photographer who decided to set up a camera and a big mirror in the middle of the jungle. He wanted to see how the animals would react to their own reflections. And guess what? It turned out way crazier than he expected. The leopard couldn't get enough of itself. The gorilla saw it as a chance to have a fight with its own reflection. And the elephant didn't really care much. But the chimpanzees, oh boy, they had a blast checking themselves out while scratching. Mermaid on the dock. Imagine there's a dock and out of nowhere a mermaid shows up. She looks all confused, swimming back and forth like she's trying to find her way to the water. But here's the strange part. There were people around, and they didn't do anything. I mean, come on, if I saw a mermaid, I'd be freaking out. You'd think someone would have called the authorities or something. Now, there's a big debate about whether this video is real or edited. Nobody really knows for sure. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Dobby. Imagine if the magical world from the books and movies were actually real. Well, after watching this video of a creature that looks just like Dobby, I can't help but wonder if there's a hidden realm of magic out there that we humans don't know about. This creature was doing some kind of funky dance with its thin legs, and trust me, it definitely wasn't a human or some kid doing a chicken dance. A weird crawling creature. Have you seen this bizarre video that's been going around? It's super short, but it shows this seriously weird creature on a random trail in the middle of nowhere. It's hard to make out what it is, but it kind of resembles a woman with a really strange posture. The thing is all muddy or dark brown and crawling around, scratching the ground with its long, skinny fingers. It also has something pointy sticking out of its head and seems to be crying. Raccoons fighting a deer. You know those pesky raccoons in North America that are always causing trouble for humans? Well, turns out they can annoy bucks too. In this video, these little thieves were initially tolerated as they stole food from the fields. But after a while, the buck's patience reached its limit. The food was running out, but the raccoons just kept showing up. There were so many raccoons, and they were so stubborn that the deer felt overwhelmed and decided to take matters.
The weirdest abduction. Philip Spencer, a former police officer, was traveling across the meadow to his father-in-law's house on the morning of the 1st of December, 1987. In an effort to get a few pictures of the sunlight at sunrise, he had brought a camera with him. In reality, the pictures he took on that particular day would eventually be published in international media. Spencer claimed that while using a compass to find his way through the fog, he came across a weird-looking figure. He immediately snapped a picture of the monster before following it and claiming to have seen a dome-topped UFO emerge from the ground and vanish into the sky. Although Spencer claimed that he believed the entire incident only lasted a few minutes, several UFO experts believed that he had actually been the target of an alien kidnapping, because once he arrived at his destination, the village clock was 1 hour ahead of his time. The images Spencer captured, despite being a little blurry, looked like it showed a 4-foot-tall, dark green alien being with a huge head and thin, long arms. Spencer took the creature's movement to be a warning to keep away, but he nevertheless pulled out his camera and snapped a photo of it. The photographs were analyzed, and it was determined that the figure was not displayed and showed no similarity with any native wildlife. The sighting has been brushed off as a hoax by skeptics, who claim that the picture actually represents another object, like a human being, or perhaps a cardboard cutout. The screams. In Texas, a local named Dan Robb was recording the intense thunderstorm that was raging outside his window. Suddenly, he heard a sound that chilled him to the bone.
There's a sound screaming. It's like a
series of blood-curdling screams that sounded like they were coming from the depths of hell itself. Dan was terrified. What on earth could be making those sounds? He posted the video to social media, hoping that someone would be able to help him identify the source of the screams. Many people were quick to offer their theories. Some thought it might be a wild animal like a mountain lion or a coyote, while others speculated that it might be something supernatural. In fact, the screaming sound Dan Robb recorded during the thunderstorm in Texas caused quite a stir among locals, with many speculating that it might be the legendary creature known as the Thunderbird. For those who aren't familiar, the Thunderbird is a mythical bird from Native American folklore. It is said to be a huge bird with a wingspan that can reach up to 20 feet or more. The bird is named after the thunder sound that is said to be produced by the flapping of its massive wings. According to legend, the Thunderbird is a powerful and majestic creature that has the ability to summon thunder and lightning with its wings. It is also believed to have healing powers and is revered as a spiritual symbol by many Native American tribes. But the truth turned out to be even stranger than anyone could have imagined. It was eventually revealed that the source of the screams was actually a valve being released at the Global Health Research Complex nearby. The sound was created when pressure was released from a cylinder, and the noise was amplified by the storm. Dan was relieved to finally have an explanation for the terrifying sounds he had heard. But the incident sparked a debate online about the mysterious and sometimes creepy noises that could be heard during thunderstorms. It just goes to show that even the most seemingly ordinary things can sometimes be more unsettling.
A kangaroo fight. Have you ever seen videos of people fighting that go viral online? It happens quite a bit, right? But it's actually pretty rare to come across videos of kangaroos fighting. Well, I recently saw one on trail camera footage. These two kangaroos were squabbling and it was pretty interesting to watch. The fight started when they grabbed each other by the neck and tried to knock each other over. But in the end, they both walked away peacefully. Pretty cool, huh? A ghost girl. A home security camera in Texas ended up recording a girl dressed in all white walking through the backyard. When the family saw it, they were all perplexed as the girl was not someone they knew or had ever seen. But then, who was it? A ghost? Or just someone pulling a prank? A creepy being. Humans have a natural curiosity that drives them to investigate anything unusual. But in this particular case, a man took his curiosity to the extreme. He heard strange sounds coming from the woods and decided to explore it late at night to see if he could find anything interesting. To his surprise, he stumbled upon a strange creature behind a tree, making weird whistle-like sounds.
What the hell is that? What the hell?
Realizing the danger, he quickly ran away as fast as he could without looking to see if the creature was following him. It seems his curiosity got the best of him in this scary encounter. Amazonian dog. The Amazon rainforest is a place where you can find unique and unusual creatures. People often put trail cameras there to capture these animals. Recently, a rare Amazonian short-eared dog was spotted on one of these cameras. The species was thought to be almost extinct for a while, and researchers were losing hope of finding any. However, this video gave them new hope. The dog was just sniffing around in the forest like any other day. Teams have been sent to locate the dog so that it can be kept safe in a preserve and live longer. A genet. When these pictures went viral online, they really got people talking. They show a little cat sitting on top of some big animals, which surprised a lot of folks. Nobody could believe how chill the cat was about it. Some people even made jokes about the cat being the boss of all the other animals. But then some experts gave their 2 cents and said that the cat, which is called a genet, was likely using the other animals as a lookout point to find prey. That's pretty clever if you ask me.
Dancing woman in Serbia. This person, clothed in traditional garb, is rumored to dance alone in the streets late at night. As her legend grew, TikTokers as well as YouTubers joined the conversation and shared reported sightings of this mysterious lady. However, what lurks beneath the mist of dread, and how did this terrifying story come to be? The Serbian dancing lady initially gained notoriety in September 2019, when a woman wearing traditional Serbian attire was spotted dancing the kolo in the middle of Belgrade. Her presence seemed innocent enough at first, but things quickly turned dangerous when she suddenly produced a knife and started threatening onlookers. The reason for the woman's actions and eventual fate are still unknown, but the unsettling meeting gave rise to a fast-growing urban legend. The tale of the Serbian dancing lady gained popularity as word got out. According to folklore, it's advised to stay away if you see a woman dancing by herself in traditional Serbian dress at night. She is reported to attack with a knife. Thus, any who approach her are said to meet a dreadful fate. Users of TikTok and YouTube have embraced the story, with many of them submitting videos in which they claim to have seen the Serbian dancing lady. In some films, she can be seen dancing menacingly in the shadows, while in others, she can be seen standing out in the open. The mystery and intrigue surrounding the dancing lady have only grown deeper as a result of these purported encounters, and people all over the world are still fascinated by her tale. The Serbian dancing lady personifies a distinctive fusion of folklore, contemporary fears, and the ability of social media to create and spread urban tales. Her story serves as a lesson in prudence and proof of the continuing power of myth and legend, despite the fact that her exact roots may never be entirely understood. rocking horse poltergeist. When Daniel Parker opened the Barnsley Antique Centre in England one morning to find the 1960s rocking horse on the floor, he checked his CCTV camera to see what had happened. And on the footage, a few mysterious orbs can be seen drifting at the bottom of the frame before the rocking horse starts to move on its own and crashes to the floor. Horse poltergeist antique stores are places nobody will be surprised to hear are haunted, and this shop in the UK is no different. Parker asserts that he has failed to replicate the falling rocking horse using string.
A giraffe with a lump. In this clip, a group of tourists encounter a giraffe with a large protruding lump on its head. The origin of the lump is unclear, with speculation that it could be the result of cancer or some other condition. The size and appearance of the lump is striking, with a large hole-like appearance. The tourists are shocked by the sight and begin recording the giraffe, capturing its movements and the unusual growth on its head. Despite the giraffe's normal behavior, the tourists are left wondering about the cause of the lump and what it would mean for the animal's health and well-being. Crabs. The clip opens with a sandy beach and calm waters. Suddenly, hundreds of mole crabs start emerging from the sand, shocking the onlookers. The crabs are seen swarming the shore, creating a dramatic and unusual sight. The mole crabs are known to be subterranean dwellers, and it's rare to see them in such large numbers all at once. The onlookers are amazed at the unexpected and unusual scene that is playing out before them. Good thing they recorded it so we could share it with you all. Eagle catches goat. In this heart-stopping clip, an eagle is seen swooping down on a baby mountain goat. The goat tries to make a run for it, but the eagle is relentless in its pursuit. As the eagle's talons close around the baby goat, it lifts off the ground and flies away. This intense moment showcases the power and skill of these magnificent birds of prey. The majesty of the eagle and the vulnerability of the young goat make for a tense and breathtaking scene. A yawning frog. In this short video, we are introduced to a tiny round rain frog. The little guy wakes up from his slumber, stretching out a big yawn. He then rubs his eyes and looks around, before finally squeezing himself into a tiny hole. The video provides a unique perspective into the world of rain frogs, and is sure to captivate and amaze viewers. A tree full of pollen. This clip shows a pine tree, which apparently was full of pollen, and the people cutting it did not know that, falls down, creating a big yellow cloud around the tree and covers the whole area in an instant. The sight of the pollen falling is both peaceful and mesmerizing. This scene captures the beauty and fragility of nature in a single moment. A giant snake around car. A recent video has captured a surprising and somewhat frightening scene: a giant snake wrapped around a car. The snake appears to be a constrictor, its powerful coils ensnaring the vehicle in a tight embrace. It is not only extremely long, but also quite strong, making it an imposing sight for those who come across it. While the sight of a snake wrapped around a car might be unsettling for some, it is a testament to the incredible abilities of these reptiles. A floating croc. In this short video clip, a crocodile is seen floating in the water in a zoo or something. The way the croc floats makes it look silly and lighthearted, and the clip is sure to bring a smile to the faces of viewers and provide a moment of humor and enjoyment. Many have even declared the croc their spirit animal. Beluga plays with a seagull. A captivating video clip recently surfaced on YouTube, showcasing the playful interaction between a beluga whale and a seagull. We can see a beluga swimming under the water while a seagull is there to get some food from the humans. Now, we might think that the beluga is after the food, but that is not the case. It is solely there to have a playful interaction with the bird, teasing it all the way. And the seagull isn't getting very offended with that either, because if it had, it would have flown away. To witness this kind of interaction is something very rare, and we're glad that the humans and their cameras were there to capture this adorable moment. A walrus doing sit-ups. A recent video has captured the impressive physical abilities of a walrus. The clip shows the walrus performing sit-ups with its trainers in captivity. The walrus is seen lying on its back, lifting its body up and down with ease and coordination. It isn't just training, it is also a very fun activity these animals enjoy doing. We also see its trainers encourage and guide the walrus through the exercise. The walrus's physical strength and flexibility are truly remarkable, showcasing the remarkable intelligence and training capabilities of these marine mammals. A lion and a dog. A heartwarming video clip went viral a few years back, showing a lion and a dog sharing a tender moment between two very different species of the animal world. The lion approaches the dog, gently kissing its paw, which the dog accepts happily. A few seconds later, the lion tries to kiss the dog's paw again, but this time the dog pulls it away, leading to playful interactions between the two animals. The clip captures the unexpected and adorable interaction between these two species and has been widely loved by viewers on the internet. A snail drinking water. This amazing clip provides us with a rare glimpse into the miniature world around us, showcasing a snail drinking from a single water droplet. The video offers a fascinating look into the beauty and wonder of the tiny creatures and the world they inhabit, giving us a new perspective on the world around us.
Fearless forest thieves. Fearless raccoons are not just sticking to the woods and grasslands anymore, they're invading urban areas too. Their dexterous paws let them open doors and pick locks, making them the ultimate scavengers. Check out this trail cam footage where raccoons discover a treasure trove of snacks. But wait, a buck wants in on the action too. Soon, a fierce showdown unfolds as more raccoons join the party. Though outnumbered, the buck's antlers are powerful weapons. Yet the raccoons live up to their names, running off and returning for more. Bears in a moat. Did you hear about those badass bears taking a dip in a moat? It's not your usual bear encounter, that's for sure. Most bears steer clear of humans or give them a good old warning charge, but not these chillaxing bears. They didn't give a hoot about the rowdy crowd above. All they wanted was some cool moat time fun. And get this, they even bring toys for their little pool party. It's like a private bear resort down there. But let me tell you, there's no line for admission because these bears are the bosses of their moat domain and they won't let anyone mess with their water park. Umatilla vocalizations. You won't believe what's going on in Arizona and Oregon. Mysterious howls are spreading across the country, and it's got everyone baffled. Is it laughter, screaming, or maybe Bigfoot's karaoke night? No one knows for sure. People are calling it the Umatilla vocalizations, and they are as eerie as they come. Even the bravest dudes in town get goosebumps when they hear these spine-chilling sounds. Some say it's Bigfoot himself on the move, spreading his legendary howls from state to state. But who knows? It could just be the world's biggest prankster playing tricks on us all. The fossa. Alright, let's meet the fossa. This Madagascar native is no ordinary feline. It's like a sneaky ninja relative of the mongoose. These cats play an essential role in nature's food chain, regulating their prey's populations like a true boss. But don't be fooled by those cute looks. The fossa has a darker side too. Lemurs, beware! When these fossas are around, they mean business, and lemurs vanish like magic tricks. Still, we can't help but admire their jungle stealth and the fact that they're exclusive to Madagascar, like a VIP guest list.
Cougar attack. This time not a trail cam, but an innocent critter became a victim of a wild predator that was ambushing it from behind. A trail camera installed at an unknown location shows a deer grazing at midnight without any idea of being stalked by its death, as hiding behind the bushes was a ferocious predator who, after setting a target, jumped into the air and directly landed on the jugular vein of the deer. Both the prey and predator fall into the nearby bushes. As we could see the deer becoming lifeless under the powerful jaws of the cougar, all we could feel is the terrifying silence of the death. Midnight Attacker. Last year in March, a man installed a trail cam somewhere in the Canadian wilderness to learn more about forest habitats. However, an animal made a dramatic entrance from behind while trying to pull off the trail camera from the tree. And here it is. After watching the antlers, I am sure there was a curious buck who got attracted toward the night flash of trail cam, or it might be trying just to rub its antlers. Now, check out this buck that apparently looked aggressive while stroking its huge antlers in the muddy swamp. However, after doing that, it could be seen sitting calmly in the sticky swamp. This strange behavior made me think if it was actually trying to rub its antlers, or if it was just an attempt to mark its territory. What do you guys say about it? Scary gator. Filmed somewhere in the southwest of Florida, here we have another swamp lover. With glowing eyes and terrifying features, it could be seen crawling creepily toward the trail cam, making me feel that it will suddenly open its monstrous jaws and will smash the camera in a second. But luckily, this scary gator took no interest in the trail cam and passed swiftly through the damp swamp, carrying its armored, muscular tail with it. Unknown hands grab the trail cam. Hiding behind the huge tree while trying to inspect the trail cam is an unknown beast whose bizarre hands were recorded 3 years back somewhere in the Canadian wilderness. The clip begins with a mysterious hand that appeared from behind the camera and attempted to grab it. The rough-looking hand with long, skinny fingers and a layer of thick hair on the arm didn't appear to be human at all. Neither could it be a bear. Then, could it be the most discussed character of the woods, or any other giant hairy figure trying to investigate the device? Any suggestions? Woodpecker smashed trail cam. An unbelievable moment was captured 2 years back when a team of scientists set up a trail cam to record some wildlife species. Instead of attracting any rare animal, the trail cam unfortunately grabbed the attention of an aggressive woodpecker who was not happy with this new addition on the trunk. Looking directly into the lens, it started to peck the camera and repeatedly pecked it until it was completely destroyed. Pecking to make a hole for a nest or just finding an insect to eat? Well, whatever the reason, it literally made me wonder about the power of its pointed beak. Lion chewed a GoPro. This time not a trail cam, but a GoPro became a target for a large, curious feline. After ambushing the camera mounted at the back of a Jeep, the lioness decided to get closer and opened its huge mouth to grab the camera through its powerful jaws. After a successful camera robbery, the big cat quickly made off and could be seen running fast. Far away from the owner, it took the camera somewhere in the bushes and started chewing with its sharp, pointed teeth. And all we could see was a very detailed view into its mouth. However, after realizing the object was without any flesh, it left it there and walked away. Dogman of Tennessee. Last year in April, a Sasquatch hunter was reviewing the footage that he filmed in the feeding station in Tennessee in the hopes to get some clues about the mythical hairy creature. While reviewing the video, he reached the scariest part of it. He noticed a strange black shape that was trying to camouflage in the trees, but its dark appearance was visible in the middle of the green. At first, it was assumed to be a Sasquatch, but then after taking a closer look, a scary snout could be seen poking through the foliage. After stabilizing the video further, the terrifying creature was identified as the Dogman, which was mysteriously watching the guy from behind. Mysterious Dogman. Why does it always try to hide behind the trees? Filmed at some other place 2 years back, another hybrid of a human and a dog was seen walking through the dense trunks. Moving slowly behind the trees, the dark, hairy creature looked even scarier after it opened its snout. Yet its frightening features became more visible after it looked directly into the camera and then suddenly disappeared back into the woods. Where it came from and where it went is still a mystery. However, this video is clear evidence of the Dogman's existence. Strange alien sticks. Not a Dogman or a Bigfoot. This time, a trail cam got a chance to film something completely otherworldly. Filmed at an unknown location is a strange white figure with incomplete facial features and without any hands, which entered the frame and could be seen walking accurately on its long, weird legs. Then another creature with the same features popped out at some distance and started walking in the same direction. Moving their flawed bodies on the odd extended legs, both the unidentified creatures swiftly passed the camera. Although nothing much is known about these unknown walking objects, to me, they looked like marching alien sticks that mysteriously appeared and disappeared into the woods. A weird figure. The image, which was captured in 2013 with an iPhone, seems to depict a transparent, dark figure standing in a doorway at the rear of their living room. You may see the hazy outline of a person standing there if you zoom in. It has been slightly lightened here. The user who gave this supposed apparition the moniker Fred, after the character from the film Drop Dead Fred, claims to have been haunted since moving into the residence back in 2000. The OP discusses in detail how they initially chalked up their paranormal experiences to being nervous about moving into a new house when they were 5 years old. The user continues, however, that these encounters increased in frequency and tangibleness over time, with Fred showing up both in the user's head and occasionally making himself physically known to others. Isn't that creepy, guys? That's why we warned you beforehand. Creepy clowns. In 2016, the world was swept up by a wave of spooky clown sightings, giving people good reason to be alarmed if they're terrified of clowns. However, reports of sightings in the United States began much earlier than this in 2014. One place that was particularly heavily impacted was Florida, and in particular the Springfield neighborhood in Jacksonville, where news organizations picked up online compilations of clowns photographed on home security cameras, whereas others claimed that the clowns typically played practical jokes on people they knew in real life. It's tough to say for sure whether they were simply Halloween pranksters, or if there was anything far more sinister, since we don't actually know the identity of the majority of them. The disappearance of Lars Mittank. In a scuffle in 2014 while on vacation in Bulgaria, Mittank had an eardrum rupture that prevented him from returning home with his buddies. However, spending an extra day in Bulgaria had deadly results, as Lars disappeared after being seen on the airport's CCTV camera leaving the building. His mother said that he was behaving oddly and claimed that he was being followed while on the phone. Mittank was also described by the airport doctor as acting strangely and supposedly declaring that he didn't want to die, despite the fact that there have been sightings of him throughout the years. None of these have been confirmed, but his mother continues to hold out hope because no corpse has ever been located. Pilot captures UFOs. You can see the flashing lights in the clouds in this video. The pilot said that the flying UFOs seen over the Pacific Ocean resemble the blinking lights in the footage that was taken. What are your thoughts on this video? Do you believe that there are UFOs and that they are currently flying above our Pacific Ocean? Don't forget to leave us a comment below with your thoughts about it. Missy Bevers' murder. Missy Bevers, a fitness instructor, was found fatally killed on April 18, 2016, at a dance studio of a church in Midlothian, Texas. Her killer has yet to be found, even though police believe the killer was already inside the building, possibly carrying out a burglary. CCTV footage of the assailant shows a figure stalking the hallways dressed in full SWAT gear. However, the cops are still unsure if the gear was genuine. Despite thousands of tips to the authorities, Missy's killer has yet to be found. Do you think any of these will ever be explained? Colossal bear breaking into the house. According to the security camera footage, a massive black bear came inside the home where a teenager was sound asleep on the couch. The boy woke up and found himself at a loss for words as he saw the beast making its way to the kitchen and opening the fridge to steal food. You can see in this clip that the bear is busy finding stuff in the kitchen. Seems to me like he was quite hungry. Hunting kestrel. Look at how steady his head is in this video. It's quite stunning. This kestrel is one of their excellent hunters, able to linger in the air for long stretches of time while looking for prey. They typically eat insects, small animals, and birds. The kestrel is renowned for its unique hunting technique, which involves hovering above its prey before quickly diving down to make the kill. They are omnipresent predators, with the exception of Antarctica and a few oceanic islands. They enjoy exploring wide environments like grasslands, deserts, and savannas, and they belong to the falcon family and are frequently employed in falconry. A fun fact about them is that once they meet a companion, they stay paired together forever.
A strange light. Even though we title this one as The Strange Light, a UFO might suit this one more, but we leave it for you to decide. A Ring camera in Bakersfield recorded a bizarre light descending from the sky towards the ground. It was only visible for a brief moment, but it was enough to make us wonder if we're not alone in this universe. Some people are saying it could be a UFO, but what do you think? Is this evidence that aliens are planning to invade Earth? Or is there a more logical explanation? We're dying to know your thoughts in the comments. A black being. Sometimes people come up with the strangest ideas, and this man was no exception. While taking a stroll through the woods, he decided to strap a camera to his back. And thank goodness he did, because he captured something really bizarre. When he got home and checked the footage, he noticed a dark creature lurking on the edge of the frame. It seemed to be staring right at him, but for some reason, it didn't attack. What was it? A predator sizing up its prey, or just a curious critter? We'll probably never know for sure, but it sure does make for a creepy video. Fighting bugs. They say boys will be boys, and this video quite seems to be saying that yes, boys will be boys no matter if they are humans or some bucks trying to fight each other. While the other two seem to be grazing grass pretty peacefully, the two in the background decided to have a boxing match. One was so excited that the other even started hopping towards the other. Was it trying to be a kangaroo or something? Nonetheless, this clip is quite hilarious. Bear self-love. Alright folks, hold on to your hats for this one. We've got a black bear in Boulder, Colorado who's taken over the camera game. That's right, this bear is the new selfie king. Apparently, this curious bear stumbled upon a motion sensor camera and decided to have some fun with it. The result? Over 400 pictures of the bear making different poses, giving his best smoldering look, and even trying out some silly faces. I mean, this bear didn't let go of the camera until it was satisfied that all its pictures were Instagram-worthy. The Tasmanian Devil. In the deep woods of southwest Victoria, a mysterious creature lurked in the shadows. Its movements were calculated, and its appearance was something you won't normally see anywhere. Experts believe this was the extinct Tasmanian tiger, also known as the thylacine, caught on camera in 2008. The footage shows the animal at dusk, approximately 200 meters from the camera. Its size and distinctive features left no doubt that this was the Tasmanian Devil.
Trash panda versus iguana. This Florida shot video depicts a raccoon attempting to corner an iguana. Raccoons consume a variety of items, including some tiny lizards and snakes. They are omnivorous and opportunistic feeders. But this person is using all of his opposable thumbs right now. That iguana is large. The eggs and young of other local creatures might suffer greatly at the hands of this variety of iguana, which is an invasive species not native to Florida. The owner claims that the iguana merely carried on taking the sunbath next to the pool, despite the raccoon's attempts to restrain it. Since an iguana and a raccoon are loitering in the owner's backyard during the day, I'd argue that the owner has a bigger problem on his hands. Though he may need to call someone to deal with these two, it did make for a bizarre thing to capture on film. Vampire deer. As you can see, we picked up a clip of what appears to be a deer combined with a vampire. This subsequent video was recorded on a field camera used by farmers. Aside from being very huge, the deer appears to be fully normal. According to this video, the deer has 2 front teeth that are protruding from its mouth. You might assume that the deer has undergone some kind of mutation, or that it's actually a vampire deer. Well, let us help you gain knowledge about this fun creature. In reality, this species is known as the Chinese water deer, and all of them look exactly like this. They all share the distinctive quality of having enormous front teeth that resemble tusks. A little herbivorous mammal that is indigenous to China and Korea is this Chinese water deer. Despite the fact that these creatures are smaller than an ordinary deer, their teeth are not. These vampire deer are found in wetlands and grasslands close to lakes and rivers. In China and Korea, these animals are protected species, and it is forbidden to hunt them. It is unclear why evolution picked fangs over antlers, besides the fact that it looks scary. This deer is undoubtedly a very unusual animal, and it is extremely uncommon to capture one on a trail camera. Baby cougar. A lone hiker in Provo, Utah was out for a jog when he spotted what appeared to be a baby bobcat on the trail ahead. He drew nearer to get a better view of it on camera. He started recording as soon as he took out his phone. It wasn't a bobcat, he realized as he drew nearer, but it was too late. That cat turned out to be a young cougar, and its mother was just around the corner. As he carefully backs away from the cougar while making loud noises in an attempt to scare it away, the hiker is stuck in a standoff with it. But instead of backing down, the cougar takes the exact opposite action. It keeps being more aggressive, approaching closer and closer, until finally it lunges at him. When the hiker backs up and turns his head away from the cougars to avoid tripping, the cougar launches an attack and comes within a few feet of the man. It seems the attacker is trying to distract the attention of the hiker. This interaction lasted for around 6 minutes in its entirety, until coming to a stop when the hiker chose to pick up a rock and throw it at the cougar. This sufficiently alarmed the animal enough to make it flee. A real goblin. The world of social media is full of surprises, and sometimes it can even offer us a glimpse of the most unexpected creatures. In October 2018, a user named Evil1030 shared a video on Instagram that had people talking about a supposed goblin caught on camera. The video was captured in the neighborhood of Pudong in Shanghai, China. The creature in the video appeared to be small, around the size of a child with a pointy head, pointy ears, and greenish-gray skin. It had a lanky body with bony limbs, and its movements were quick and jerky. The goblin-like figure scurried across a street and disappeared into the bushes, leaving the witnesses stunned and questioning what they had just seen. The video quickly went viral, with many people speculating about what the creature could be. Some believed it was a hoax, while others suggested that it could be a misidentified animal or a creature from Chinese folklore. Interestingly, the video was not the only one of its kind. It's worth noting that the idea of goblins has existed in human mythology for centuries. While there's no scientific evidence to support the existence of goblins, sightings like this one can certainly spark the imagination. Despite the widespread speculation, while it's possible that the video could be genuine, it's also possible that it could be a well-executed hoax or a case of misidentification. However, until more evidence is available, the truth behind this supposed goblin remains a mystery. Girl with deer. This is definitely one of the creepiest things we've seen in a while. According to reports, a guy who was out hunting outside Big Spring, Texas, around Sterling City, took a picture at around 3 a.m. with his gaming camera. Now, you may initially think that this is just a typical photo of some wildlife and nothing more, but unfortunately, it's not. Something that is considerably more terrifying has come to light. You'll have shivers down your spine as soon as you spot the little girl wandering around by herself, and the deer looking at her suspiciously. But here's the thing, the girl seems to be a ghost. Now this is definitely a bizarre and chilling sight that's hard to explain. What's interesting about this footage is that it doesn't look like any kind of camera trick. It appears to be a genuine and unexplained sighting of a ghostly figure in the woods. The exposure of the picture was changed to get a more clear view of what the thing was, which led to noticing 2 ball tassels. Now, the girl was either considered to be a Native American Indian child or a pilgrim child. Notice the similarity. However, when the image circulated, people had their own assumptions coming up as well. Some have suggested that the little girl could be the ghost of someone who died in the area, while others believe it's a completely unexplainable phenomenon. Whatever the case may be, this footage is definitely not something you want to watch alone in the dark. It's a reminder that there are still mysteries out there that we can't explain. And sometimes, the things we can't see are the most trash panda versus iguana. This Florida shot video depicts a raccoon attempting to corner an iguana. Raccoons consume a variety of items, including some tiny lizards and snakes. They are omnivorous and opportunistic feeders. But this person is using all of his opposable thumbs right now. That iguana is large. The eggs and young of other local creatures might suffer greatly at the hands of this variety of iguana, which is an invasive species not native to Florida. The owner claims that the iguana merely carried on taking the sunbath next to the pool, despite the raccoon's attempts to restrain it. Since an iguana and a raccoon are loitering in the owner's backyard during the day, I'd argue that the owner has a bigger problem on his hands. Though he may need to call someone to deal with these two, it did make for a bizarre thing to capture on film. Vampire deer. As you can see, we picked up a clip of what appears to be a deer combined with a vampire. This subsequent video was recorded on a field camera used by farmers. Aside from being very huge, the deer appears to be fully normal. According to this video, the deer has 2 front teeth that are protruding from its mouth. You might assume that the deer has undergone some kind of mutation, or that it's actually a vampire deer. Well, let us help you gain knowledge about this fun creature. In reality, this species is known as the Chinese water deer, and all of them look exactly like this. They all share the distinctive quality of having enormous front teeth that resemble tusks. A little herbivorous mammal that is indigenous to China and Korea is this Chinese water deer. Despite the fact that these creatures are smaller than an ordinary deer, their teeth are not. These vampire deer are found in wetlands and grasslands close to lakes and rivers. In China and Korea, these animals are protected species, and it is forbidden to hunt them. It is unclear why evolution picked fangs over antlers, besides the fact that it looks scary. This deer is undoubtedly a very unusual animal, and it is extremely uncommon to capture one on a trail camera. Baby cougar. A lone hiker in Provo, Utah was out for a jog when he spotted what appeared to be a baby bobcat on the trail ahead. He drew nearer to get a better view of it on camera. He started recording as soon as he took out his phone. It wasn't a bobcat, he realized as he drew nearer, but it was too late. That cat turned out to be a young cougar, and its mother was just around the corner. As he carefully backs away from the cougar while making loud noises in an attempt to scare it away, the hiker is stuck in a standoff with it. But instead of backing down, the cougar takes the exact opposite action. It keeps being more aggressive, approaching closer and closer, until finally it lunges at him. When the hiker backs up and turns his head away from the cougars to avoid tripping, the cougar launches an attack and comes within a few feet of the man. It seems the attacker is trying to distract the attention of the hiker. This interaction lasted for around 6 minutes in its entirety, until coming to a stop when the hiker chose to pick up a rock and throw it at the cougar. This sufficiently alarmed the animal enough to make it flee. A real goblin. The world of social media is full of surprises, and sometimes it can even offer us a glimpse of the most unexpected creatures. In October 2018, a user named Evil1030 shared a video on Instagram that had people talking about a supposed goblin caught on camera. The video was captured in the neighborhood of Pudong in Shanghai, China. The creature in the video appeared to be small, around the size of a child with a pointy head, pointy ears, and greenish-gray skin. It had a lanky body with bony limbs, and its movements were quick and jerky. The goblin-like figure scurried across a street and disappeared into the bushes, leaving the witnesses stunned and questioning what they had just seen. The video quickly went viral, with many people speculating about what the creature could be. Some believed it was a hoax, while others suggested that it could be a misidentified animal or a creature from Chinese folklore. Interestingly, the video was not the only one of its kind. It's worth noting that the idea of goblins has existed in human mythology for centuries. While there's no scientific evidence to support the existence of goblins, sightings like this one can certainly spark the imagination. Despite the widespread speculation, while it's possible that the video could be genuine, it's also possible that it could be a well-executed hoax or a case of misidentification. However, until more evidence is available, the truth behind this supposed goblin remains a mystery. Girl with deer. This is definitely one of the creepiest things we've seen in a while. According to reports, a guy who was out hunting outside Big Spring, Texas, around Sterling City, took a picture at around 3 a.m. with his gaming camera. Now, you may initially think that this is just a typical photo of some wildlife and nothing more, but unfortunately, it's not. Something that is considerably more terrifying has come to light. You'll have shivers down your spine as soon as you spot the little girl wandering around by herself, and the deer looking at her suspiciously. But here's the thing, the girl seems to be a ghost. Now this is definitely a bizarre and chilling sight that's hard to explain. What's interesting about this footage is that it doesn't look like any kind of camera trick. It appears to be a genuine and unexplained sighting of a ghostly figure in the woods. The exposure of the picture was changed to get a more clear view of what the thing was, which led to noticing two ball tassels. Now, the girl was either considered to be a Native American Indian child or a pilgrim child. Notice the similarity. However, when the image circulated, people had their own assumptions coming up as well. Some have suggested that the little girl could be the ghost of someone who died in the area, while others believe it's a completely unexplainable phenomenon. Whatever the case may be, this footage is definitely not something you want to watch alone in the dark. It's a reminder that there are still mysteries out there that we can't explain. And sometimes, the things we can't see are the most
From haunting creatures residing under your bed to giant beasts of our worldly domain, we have a plethora of exciting, intriguing, and captivating videos that would cure your daily cravings of spooky, unresolved mysteries. So, grab your popcorn and come along on this roller coaster journey. Fear beneath the sheets. Imagine sleeping peacefully in your bed, and a strange intruder disturbs you from your sleep, leaving you baffled and haunted for the rest of your life. A quiet room filled with pitch-black darkness, a type of darkness that would add more silence to an already strange atmosphere. The video began with a man waking up to some unusual sounds from his deep sleep. Removing his blankets haphazardly, he began gawking at different corners of his room, and as soon as he panned away to his right, an obnoxious creature came to his welcome. This creature had the most terrifying appearance. A lurking shadow of death, a pitch-black darkness with satanic eyes, was gawking at that helpless man while slowly disappearing into the night, its sharp, pointed claws leaving imprints of its presence. Seeing this vicious scene of terror and horror, the man jumped out from his bed, breathing heavily as he attempted to run away from the room. A sight of terror that might have made you guys jump out of your beds, too. Strange imposter in the woods. Deep in the woods, a family found themselves in a strange situation when their usually friendly dog started barking intensely in the middle of the night. A deafening silence filled with intense howling made the house owners a little worried. They ran towards their front door to check the severity of the matter with torches in their hand. Meanwhile, the dog was still barking at the woods as if he had seen something peculiar and haunted. The couple began pointing their torchlight at the dense forest in front of their house. And to their amazement, they found small, glowing eyes roaming in the thick forest at this hour.
Oh, there's a bunch of them. What are they? They're blinking, y'all.
There's lots out there.
Are those coyotes?
I don't know, but they're there.
Speculations began haunting them, as it was unusual to discover such an enigmatic creature in the middle of the night. However, to put an end to their worry, the creature revealed itself, and you won't believe it, guys, it was nothing but a big wild cow roaming and grazing through the woods. A burst of laughter broke in, and they heaved a sigh of relief as this poor creature could cause no harm to anyone.
Oh my God, y'all.
There's something just
Oh, it's
it's a cow. That's why his head was going up and down.
A wicked child, a ghost hunter, set out on his other deadly venture. He chose a dilapidated house, torn and ruined brutally throughout its surroundings. His adventure began filming the wreckage of that seemingly haunted place. The air was filled with untamed voices, howls of wild beasts, and deadly shrieks of unannounced creatures, all turning into a satanic clamor. With his torchlight, he began hunting for its prized possession, and in no time his camera caught something unruly, something vicious. It was a haunted figure that almost looked like a child with demonic ears. With its long hair, that set behind its elf-like ears, the eerie creature stood still for a while, unveiling his demonic presence in front of the camera, and then quickly hid behind the wreckage. The hunter followed him around the house, but all in vain. It looked as if the haunted creature wasn't shy of the camera, and it only wanted to cast his satanic presence over the hunter. Legendary sea monster. A beautiful lake situated in between the frosty mountains, a breathtaking sight, and indeed a perfect travel destination spot. But can you believe that this lake might be home to fantasy creatures and spooky monsters? It all began when a man started to record this alluring scenery in search of a legendary creature that only had its existence limited to books. However, some had claimed that they had witnessed that sea-dwelling beast. After some time, unruly ripples close to the shore caught his attention. The man diverted his lens toward that disturbance in the glistening water. He zoomed over a sizable black tail, making all those ripples in the lake. The man claimed it to be the caudal fin of the legendary kraken. According to the sources, the kraken is a sea monster of humongous stature, and those black flaps documented in the video looked nothing like the kraken's huge fins. Thus, it would not be appropriate to call it a kraken sighting, as it could be a giant or some other codfish swimming across the lake.
That puddle. What the hell's that? What the hell's that? There's something in the water, guys. Can you guys see that?
Bigfoot encounter. An adventurous hiking venture turned into an eye-opening discovery that raised many speculations about the presence of this giant forest beast. The video began with a man recording the captivating nature of a dense forest, laden with towering trees, and its floor covered with thickly grown moss, almost giving it a carpeted appearance. Among this enchanting scenery, a black shadow peeked into the frame. It had a huge stature, like a giant covered in thick fur and long hair all over its body. The giant gradually walked toward the cameraman with all its glory and magnificence, defying the tallness of everything in front of it. With a sudden glance into the camera lens, the Bigfoot walked away from the cameraman, ignoring his invasion in its territory completely. However, this video doesn't provide any solid evidence to Bigfoot's presence, and these wild and unruly creatures won't spare human invasions in their habitat. glaring eyes. Trail cam footage has been making headlines. However, the spotlight isn't on the animal captured by it, but on an enigmatic presence that the unblinking lens inadvertently revealed. In the vast fields of the forest, amidst the lurking darkness, an innocent deer could be seen grazing peacefully through the meadows. I know nothing exciting, but here comes the spooky part. If you focus on the left side of the footage, you'll see two large glowing eyes glaring through the darkness of the forest. These giant eyes kept revealing themselves for quite a few minutes, and then they suddenly disappeared into the darkness. This strange footage raised many questions about the creature hiding behind woods. Some claimed it to be Bigfoot's glowing eyes, whereas some pointed it as a forest curse dwelling through the fields. What do you guys think? Do let us know about your theories. A waddling creature. A driver recording his journey through the wilderness of the forest came across something peculiar and strange on his way. Through the bumpy road, in the middle of the forest, a moving object at the side of the road playing with the puddle caught the driver's attention from afar. Hence, on coming close to that creature, the driver zoomed in, and as soon as it began driving across it, this dark-colored creature swiftly sprinted into the woods with a dangling gait. Unaware of the nature of this peculiar animal, the driver kept recording it while driving past it. Now, coming to the question of the nature of this wild animal, if you look closely at it, you'd find white stripes across it, making it look like a wild skunk and not an eerie creature. The skunk, upon seeing the driver, ran into the woods as they are protective of their surroundings. Cursed photographs. Imagine taking pictures while hiking through a thick forest only to find a haunted spirit peeking through your photographs. Scary, isn't it? A similar series of events happened with a couple when they were enjoying their hiking venture in the mountain forest, unaware of the presence of spooky spirits wandering around. Upon looking through their camera roll, they were astonished to spot a strange presence behind them. At first, it seemed like a bird, captured while taking its flight, but as they zoomed over, a wave of fear ran across their body as there was a strange figure with a clear face peeking from the trees. A demonic presence, a satanic face trying to get in the frame of a happy couple-like curse. The couple ran checks over this footage. However, this case remained unresolved as the authorities were unable to locate any evidence regarding this strange encounter. Ominous nightmare. When your eyes suddenly open in the middle of the night, a normal person would usually encounter darkness and peaceful silence surrounding him, wouldn't he? But there are some people who would come across cursed creatures with their dreadful sight and voices haunting the surroundings if their eyes accidentally opened at a specific time, or you can say 3 a.m. In this video, a girl encounters a goat coming from behind the curtain. At first glance, it appears normal, but as the goat opens its mouth, waves of horrific sound reach the eardrums, making one hold his ear. The girl shifts her camera towards the clock, showing the dreadful time of the day, 3 a.m. In the meantime, the goat's shrieking voice, accompanied by the black tentacles coming out of its mouth and glowing eyes, can be seen clearly in the darkness of the night. This scene is truly terrifying for one sight, but the vlogger seems accustomed to this behavior of the goat and calmly closes the door on the goat, completely shutting it out of the room. The creature of Romania. This peculiar video began with a man recording himself while talking about the unusual sighting that occurred in the Romanian zoo. The man emphasized that such a creature had never been sighted anywhere in the world. However, it is enchained here at the Romanian zoo constraints. After the initial warning, the man entered a dark hall filled with other tourists and visitors. Among these usual voices, strange howls and cries were heard, which kept getting louder as the man moved further into the hall. At last, in the end, a colossal cage was seen with a dwarf-like creature with a distorted face and features, amusing the curious tourists with his unusual appearance and distinct howls. Wild intruder. Who would have imagined that, when you clocked out of your job, the next time you see your workplace, it would be in the coverage of a news channel portraying a horrific scene of a wild bear entering your workplace? It is a heinous sight, isn't it? That exact scene was recorded in the camera footage of Aspen Resort, where a wild bear was wandering around in the resort's kitchen. It is an abominable situation one must never encounter, but sometimes luck is not on your side. This luck ran short on the night guard of Aspen Resort, where he met the rile-up bear after hearing the rustle and bustle in the kitchen. At first, the security didn't come face-to-face with the bear, but as he slowly inspected further into the blind spot of camera footage, the wild bear flung out his sharp claws toward the poor security guard and tossed the poor guy at a feet distance, which probably was best as he sprung out of the door, while the bear also finds this opportunity to escape from that place. A heroic day. A daunting encounter took place on the streets of British Columbia, Canada, where a bear came in a face-to-face meeting with a little boy strolling along with his cycle in front of his front door. Upon seeing the boy, the bear walked gradually toward him in his quest to sniff the young lad. However, in this spine-tingling situation, the boy didn't lose his calm. Instead, he kept still and stared at the bear as he sprinted towards him. When there were only a few inches left between the kid and the bear, a man from behind plunged into the scene like an angel from the sky. With his arm wide open, he began hushing away the bear. Luckily, this trick worked, and the bear ran towards the car and hid behind it. The man still kept looking for the bear in an attempt to scare him away, and his efforts bore fruit as the bear quickly walked away from the neighborhood. Overall, it was an act of courage by both. The young boy kept his nerves under control, while the man courageously took charge of the situation and saved the day. Parental guardians. The forest is home to hundreds of mysterious creatures, and one such creature caught our attention while cradling its baby through a thick jungle. A spooky encounter occurred when a hiker recorded an inhumane beast wandering through the woods. A giant beast, draped in a dark attire from head to toe with all its magnificence, peeped through a huge rock. A bit cautious about his surroundings, it quickly passed through the field while glancing meekly at the camera lens. It was strange for such a wild beast to be observant about his surroundings, almost as if he was protective of something. Soon, this enigma unveiled itself when the gorilla-like creature came out of the bushes, holding its baby and then again disappearing into the woods. This incident reflects light upon the protective nature of a parent, despite its dreadful instincts and the presence of such enigmatic creatures in our worldly domain. Fields of fear? On a dreadful night, full of terror and deafening silence, in the middle of vast fields, a man found himself in a demonic ritual. It all began with a man wandering through vast fields with his torchlight, searching for his two faithful dogs. Following the howls of his dogs, he finally found one of his dogs barking towards a satanic creature, a demon with the head of a goat, cradling his numb dog and walking away. The moment he shifted his attention from his barking dog to that satanic figure, his other dog was taken into possession by another satanic creature, leaving the man breathing heavily in this moment of terror and angst. Skinwalker Ghost. The car dash cam footage shows a white figure crossing the road, moving with a strange, almost animalistic gait. As it comes closer to the car, the figure's true nature becomes clear. It's a skinwalker. The skinwalker's skin is matted and unkempt, and its limbs are too long and thin to be human. As the car drives away, the skinwalker disappears into the darkness. The driver is left feeling shaken and unsure of what they just witnessed. Skinwalkers are said to be powerful and dangerous shapeshifters in Navajo culture, able to take on the form of any animal they desire. Crossing paths with one is considered a bad omen, and many people believe that seeing a skinwalker can bring misfortune or death. The vicious rattlesnake. From the deadliest creatures of the outer realm to the wild, slithering animals of our domain, the world is full of vicious encounters. Just like in this video, a man showcases the true nature of a rattlesnake. With its intense buzzing sounds, the rattlesnake was generating a sense of fear in its surroundings. Unafraid of the vicious trap of the rattlesnake, the man kept recording the dreadful species. Its glaring eyes remained fixated on the intrusive man. The apparent wrath in his cold eyes was enough to devour any dwelling prey, and its continuous rattling tail was enough to haunt nearby creatures. Aware of the lurking danger, the daring man, being cautious of actions, kept recording this reptile as he was fascinated by its constant rattles. Satan in the bushes. In the vast fields far from human neighborhoods, and in the close vicinity of the dense forest, a man began recording some strange movements. Behind the withered bushes around a tall electricity tower, something peculiar and a shadowy figure appeared. As the observer recorded the video from afar, hence only it was impossible to gauge the size of this eerie creature. Only two sharp horns with pointed round tips are visible in the video, giving it the appearance of some bull or a mountain goat. Nonetheless, the creature looked creepy in its attire, almost like a cursed satanic goat peeking through the bushes. Creepy settlement under the bridge. In this blurred video of an underbridge settlement surrounded by thick-grown vines and wild bushes, an observer witnessed something weird. To find out the cause of this unusual activity, the man hops on a journey to find out the truth about these vague movements. As soon as he went under the bridge, heaps of wild twigs and branches welcomed him, all hiding the entrance of a long bridge, giving it an appearance of ambush to protect the unknown. The man was ready to make his first step into that horrid place, but soon rushed home because something supernatural had made him lose control. As soon as he saw that apparition, he was caught off guard and stumbled on his shaking steps, but within a second he gathered courage and ran away. Living footballs. Have you ever seen a giant rolling ball swaying across the woods? Can you believe that these giant balls are alive? They are these fascinating creatures that can compact themselves in a ball to travel greater distances. It is a rare sight to witness armadillos in their unpacked form. However, a trail cam was successful enough to capture these creatures in its memory. Amidst the dark jungles, surrounded by sky-high trees, a cute little animal gradually marches forward with a slow gait in open fields. This adorable species only appeared briefly with its tiny feet tiptoeing through the grassy areas and then disappeared into the woods. Vicious werewolf. A trail cam recording captures a spine-chilling moment of a werewolf lurking behind the bushes. The eerie footage shows the creature's silhouette pacing back and forth before it suddenly stops and looks directly at the camera. Its glowing eyes reflect the light from the camera, and it seems as if the werewolf was aware of its presence being recorded. The creature's movements are swift and sudden, and after a few minutes it becomes agitated and disturbs the camera, causing the recording to end abruptly. This unsettling footage will leave viewers with goosebumps and questioning the existence of these mythical creatures. Lion's Feast. Recorded by a helpless tourist, this video is enough to send shivers down your spine as you question the unpredictability of a human's mortal being. Who could have thought that a fun adventure at a safari park could turn into a life-ending trauma, a horrific incident that could devour your loved ones' lives? The video began with an older man strolling through the open safari fields and into the lion's den. A daring move, isn't it? And this tiny mistake cost that man his life. Triggered by the sudden intrusion into its land, the lion sprinted towards the old man. Unfortunately, the old man, due to his lean body, couldn't keep up pace with the lurking danger. Hence, the lion seized him the moment he was about to step into his safe zone and dragged him away towards his old hiding. There, he devoured him into sizable bites, with cries of help and shrieks of helplessness echoing through the safari.
Somebody help, please!
He's gonna go!
Hunting gone wrong. A hunter holding his gun upright, pointing at its aim, was breathing heavily in a dense forest filled with vicious creatures and deadly beasts. With shaking hands, he kept walking towards thick bushes. To end our curiosities, a giant grizzly bear plunged out of the bushes, slowly made its way toward the man, and then hid again behind dense foliage. One must have thought that the hunter could quickly escape this terrible situation had he used his gun correctly. But there's more to the scene as another grizzly bear cub pops from a bush. According to the hunter, there were 3 cubs with their mother bear. Thus, it would have been inhumane for him to shoot her, as the mother was being protective of his kids. An unusual friendship. What is more innocent and purer than the friendship between a human and an animal? It seems like there isn't any. A man gently opens his door to welcome his animal friend with a sweet and comforting voice, calling it Buddy.
Buddy.
To have an evening coffee or beverage at the door pavement with his doe-eyed deer friend. An adorable deer swiftly reacts, comes in the direction of the familiar voice, and enters the old man-lit house where his human friend offers him a snack or two. The doe-eyed deer munches on the snack dearly, and this scene warms one's heart.
What's up, dude?
The purity of this scene is unmatched and unparalleled. Enigmatic encounter in forest. Who doesn't like to stroll in the morning, breathing in the fresh air? This type of exercise is best for relaxing one's mind and removing any negative thoughts. But during this peaceful stroll, suddenly, an eerie presence engulfs this moment of peace. This feeling was felt by an individual peacefully walking on a track surrounded by dense forest. This individual slowly pans out his camera towards the dense forest. This individual sees nothing but plants of different species portraying their colors. But as he shifts his camera in a particular space, at first, it appeared as a blackish shadow. But as the camera zoomed in, 2 eyes with a blackish hue stared back at it, making this phenomenal encounter a thrilling sight, enough to keep one awake for days. The wild lioness. In the stillness of the jungle, the hunter came with the thought to hunt an elk and mentally prepared himself for all the possible situations, but none prepared him for a sudden encounter with a savage beast. The camera recording began with the hunter getting shocked by the sudden entry of the lioness. He aimed his Glock 27 at the lioness, who was dangerously close to him.
Get back.
The moment the lioness takes 1 step more, the hunter shoots at it, and the lioness moves backward. The frightened man shot again to scare it out, and surprisingly, it worked because after the second shot, the lioness stared down at the hunter for a while, and then left in the opposite direction while the frightened man shakily lowered the gun. Giraffe meets a baby deer. In the enigmatic embrace of the savannah, a towering giraffe stood sturdy, with its majestic stature casting long shadows, its curious eyes fixated on a delicate sight, a fawn, its lean legs barely able to support its own weight, nestled amongst the bumpy surface of emerald foliage. The mother giraffe is confused by the height difference. It inspects the baby deer, sniffs it, and lowers its neck to wonder how this tiny being can coexist in the same frame as gigantic creatures like us. But as the vehicle approaches, the baby deer runs out of the vicinity of the giraffe. Silent watchers. Amidst the darkness, there lie untamed creatures that wander through the fields unannounced only to curse the species from the real world. In such darkness, a trail camera was set up in the bushes to record the eerie movements throughout the night. A cloak of vivid smog prevailed in front of the lens, adding more terror to an already haunted atmosphere. A minor disturbance soon turned into a major blow when something unknown tried to move the trail cam, and it tumbled down suddenly in an isolated forest. What possibly could have done that? A gust of wind or a horrid creature? Let us know in the comments. Yahoos. Most of you must have heard about the strange creatures called Yahoos mentioned in the Gulliver Travels, but who could have thought that these creatures would jump out of the fantasy world into our worldly realm? For instance, in this video, a small, human-like creature is seen hopping through the woods, cautious about its perilous surroundings. Having no similarity to human dwarfs, due to his distinct head and long pointed ears, this creature holds a distinct uniqueness. Draped in dried leaves, this eerie being paved its way in front of the camera, only to disappear in a swift second. However, this video isn't enough to provide a solid testament to its presence, as it could be an AI-generated animation. Jamaican mermaid. Do you believe in mermaids? If not, then this video will baffle you out of your wits, as it captures one of the most wanted enchanted creatures of the fantasy world. It all began when two men were exploring through a river surrounded by thick mangroves in Jamaica. They were casually gossiping around, capturing the essence of nature, recording the glistening water of the river. And then something took them by surprise. A peculiar thing was hiding behind a giant rock, and as soon as they shifted their camera toward it took a sudden dive into the river. The camera kept recording these unusual movements through the shallow, and suddenly the creature plunged out of the river, revealing its lustrous hair. This incident terrified them to their core, and they ran away without having the proper footage of the Jamaican mermaid. Alligator ambush. Notorious for its lethal death rolls, a giant alligator was spotted by the authorities in some water park, wandering through the fields unattended. Two men were sent by the authorities to handle this savage beast. They tried to capture it by blindfolding his eyes using a white cloth. This scheme didn't go according to the plan, and the man who was all set to grab his tail from behind fell into the alligator's trap. The moment he tried to have hold of his tail, the alligator snapped at him, grabbed him by his shirt, and bit his hand. Though the grip was loose, the man managed to escape the wrath of this unruly beast. Skinwalkers. Imagine vlogging deep in the woods on a foggy day only to gain the attention of a vicious, spooky creature. The video began with a boy talking about an excellent hiding spot, or a base that he made with his cousin.
I just wanted to show you guys my cool base that I made a while ago with my cousin.
He mentioned all the things surrounding his base camp, the fencing, and the unusual chair placements, not going to lie. The children seemed quite happy about his small hiding in the forest. Suddenly, while he was busy describing his base camp, he heard a strange sound. The camera quickly shifted towards the abandoned woods. At first, the boy thought it was some wild cow who lost his way, but within a few seconds, he was astonished to witness a white, slender creature running towards him at full speed. However, the boy managed to escape from this daring encounter.
Oh, frick!
Halloween nightmares. Let us dive back into spooky roadside incidents where spirits haunt you out of your wits and fear grabs you by your collar, leaving you in inexplicable situations. One such roadside incident occurred when a man was driving through a quiet road in the dark, and upon driving, he was met by an eerie creature on the side of it. To our astonishment, a very visible man came out of nowhere. He had the body of a man, but his face seemed distorted or burnt. In general, he had a very scary appearance, and trust me guys, this wasn't the only thing spooky about him. As soon as the driver moved past him, he started following the car almost like a cursed spirit. However, this can also be a Halloween prank. What do you guys think? Night falls. Night, a time brimmed with starry sky and dreamy world, but at the same time, it's full of terrors. A breeding time for savage creatures, an awakening of creepy spirits that circles throughout the sphere. Such a spooky creature was caught in the backyard of a house where two lads were having drinks and conversing casually, but suddenly one of them noticed a strange presence. An enigmatic creature raised from the darkness with its vast, slender, bony legs that could easily cover more than a meter per step. As soon as this creature came into clear sight, the two individuals sprung out of their chair, throwing their beer in utter terror and fright. However, this inhumane creature didn't care about the sudden outburst and sprinted away from them. Eyes of the unknown. In the wilderness of an abandoned forest, a young man set out on an adventurous journey to explore the mystique nature of the enchanted jungle. Within a few seconds, he was captivated by an enthralling animal. As the camera focused onto that creature, it became still moment in a relatively sparse forest. At first glance, it appeared like an animal was protruding from the fallen log, but as it zoomed in, it seemed like a whitewashed skull with holes dogged in it. These holes appear to be black orbs of something entirely inhumane, looking dead straight into the camera. This video raised speculations about the credibility of such mystique creatures in our natural world. Bigfoot's menace. Mythical creatures are usually imagined as symbols, guardians, and breathtaking figures in folklore. But among this visual splendor, there are other creatures so hideous and horrific that one wants to run away as far as possible. In the dimly lit security footage, an astonishing and creepy scene unfolds, where a figure in the rear view resembling the legendary Bigfoot can be seen throwing a heavy rock onto the nearby skunk, probably unaware of the terrific presence near him. The stone arcs through the air, narrowly missing its target. Startled by the sudden attack, the skunk darts away quickly. The footage captures a truly extraordinary moment, offering a horrific glimpse of such a creature. The forest secret. In a quiet and peaceful forest, far down from the noise and rush of people, a secret problem was affecting the safety of some hens living there. Being dangerous was sneaking in the dark, putting the hens at danger. The forest had always been a safe place for these birds, but one by one they were fading without anyone knowing why. To fence the hens, someone who looked out about them decided to take action. They set up a clever trap in the resort of catching the mysterious beast responsible for the hens' losses. They placed delicious grains and seeds inside the trap to attract the unknown violator. To catch this mysterious troublemaker in the act, the smart person initiated small alert cameras each around the forest. These little cameras were ready to record any wrongdoing by the offender. The forest now turned into a platform, with the trap and cameras acting as tools to bring justice. The charge to cover the hens had begun, and the entire forest was eager to break the enigma that had been bothering it. Tara's wildlife. Once upon a time, in a wild and lush forest, there lived an animal named Tara. Tara was a furry and nimble beast with a long tail. Tara was a true forest discoverer. With sharp claws and keen senses, it could climb trees and run through the green with ease. Tara's life in the wildlife was full of adventures. It would hunt for delicious treats like rodents and fruits, always on the lookout for an appetizing mess. Occasionally, it would indeed swim in the clear canals to catch fish. Tara had a family too. They would play together, chase each other through the trees, and educate the immature Taras the ways of the forest. Their home was a cozy den hidden amidst the trees, safe from utmost wolves. Tara's wildlife world was a thrilling and beautiful place, full of surprises, where it thrived as a clever and curious animal, a true master of the forest. The mysterious encounter. Once upon a time, there was a man who decided to set up a special camera deep in the quiet, mysterious forest. His plan was to capture movie of the wild creatures that wandered the forest, hoping to see being amazing. The first picture he took flashed a beautiful deer, its gentle eyes looking right at the camera. The man was thrilled with his first shot, allowing he'd succeeded in his operation. But when he checked the other picture, his excitement turned to fear. Rather of a wild creature, the photograph revealed being creepy and unsettling. It looked like a creepy, shadowy figure of a man, or perhaps indeed a police officer wandering in the timber. The man could not believe his eyes, and a tremble ran down his spine. The forest, once a place of wonder, now held a secret that transferred chills down his spine, and he knew he'd stumbled upon being far more mysterious than he ever imagined. The mysterious white ball. One dark and quiet night, a trail camera placed in front of a house managed to catch existent truly mysterious. The camera's lens captured a strange, glowing white ball floating through the night sky. It moved with a creepy grace, nearly like a ghostly sphere. The The sight was both alluring and puzzling, leaving the curious homeowner and anyone who saw the footage wondering about its origin and purpose. As the footage played out, it appeared as though the spiritual ball was on its own secret trip, gliding through the air in a way that defied explanation. The night's blanket added an air of secret, making it look truly more paranormal. Could it have been a slapdash balloon, a rare natural miracle, or being beyond our understanding? The enigmatic ball's appearance left the spectators with a sense of wonder and a touch of confusion as they pondered the secrets of the night sky. The nightly search for Mothman. On a dark and spooky night, a group of courageous investigators set out on a thrilling adventure to find the mysterious beast known as Mothman. Armed with flashlights and a sense of curiosity, they ventured into the creepy forest, guided only by the faint light of the moon. As they shoveled deeper into the dark, their hearts pounded with both excitement and fear. Every rustling flake and hooting owl transferred shakes down their spines, but their determination held them concerned. They participated tales of Mothman's creepy scrapes, which only fueled their search. Yet the slippery Mothman remained one step ahead, playing a clever game of hide and seek. The investigators chased after flashcasts and creepy sounds, but each time, Mothman sounded to disappear into the night.
What was that? I heard something. What was that? I heard something.
The night's adventure, full of expectation and suspension, left the investigators with a deeper puzzle to break, realizing that some secrets are best left to the imagination, hidden in the deep discipline of the night.
You're lighting it up like the 4th of July. Right.
Forest fight. As the chopper camera drifted above the thick forest, it stumbled upon a weird and unsettling scene. The lens revealed a group of beings carrying strangely, moving through the trees as though they were being watched. The atmosphere was tense, and a feeling of fear gripped the air. Out of the blue, one of the individualities pulled out a defense and fired a shot. The blaring sound shattered the stillness of the forest land, transferring chills down the spine. It was as if a suspensor movie had come to life. The chopper camera captured this unforeseen turn of events, making the observer feel as if they were right there, witnessing the chilly scene firsthand. The question that dallied in the air was, who were these mysterious people, and why were they in the timber? The movie, such like drama unfolding before the lens, left an unforgettable mark on those who saw it, reminding them of the creepy mystifications that nature can hide. The bear encounter. Once upon a time, there was a man who had a big drilling machine. He wanted to dig a deep hole in the ground. He allowed it was a fine day for drilling, so he started up the machine. The machine roared to life and he began drilling into the earth. But just when he allowed effects were going well, being sudden occurred. Out of nowhere, a huge black bear surfaced from beneath the ground. The man was hugely surprised and afraid. The bear had been resting there, and the drilling had woken it up. The bear's big dark eyes goggled at the man and they both set for a moment. The man slowed back down from his noisy machine, giving the bear some space. With a rumble, the bear raved and Slow fell back into the hole it came from. The man learned a precious reading that day: always be careful when you are digging into the earth, as you know who might be resting below. Battle between polar bear and the dog. In the icy forest of the far north, a fierce battle unfolded between a polar bear and a husky doggy. The forest was silent, except for the soft crunch of snow under their paws. The polar bear, massive and white as the snow itself, stood like a frozen mountain, its muscles tightened. On the other side, the husky, with its polished and graceful frame, barked bravely, ready to cover its home. The bear swiped its powerful paw at the husky, but the doggy was quick and danced out of the way. The husky nipped at the bear's heels, trying to keep its distance. It was a formal of survival in the chilly nature. The bear roared, and the husky's bark echoed through the frozen geography. For hours, the two foes circled each other, testing their strength and determination. In the end, the husky's cunning and speed exceeded the bear's brute force. With one final jump, the husky landed a heavy bite on the bear's nose, causing it to retreat with a powerful roar. Brave bears escape. Once upon a time, in a thick, wild forest, there was a big, crabby bear who lived in a comfortable backyard. The bear had grown tired of the small space and feared for the freedom of the forest beyond his barrier. One sunny morning, as Benny was stretching his massive paws, he got an idea. He decided it was time to break free from his backyard confinement. With a heavy cause and a blasting crash, Bear knocked down the barrier that had held him caught for so long. It was a sight to behold as the awkward planks splintered and flew far and wide. Hyperactive and a little bit horrified, Bear made a run for it, charging into the lush green forest. He felt the cool breath on his fur, heard the chittering of the birds, and knew he was eventually home where he belonged. Police captured the mischievous bear. Once upon a time, in a quiet little city, being strange was passing. People woke up to find their cars all knocked up, and it was not because of a big storm. No, there was a bear on the loose, and it sounded to have a thing for cars. The furry troublemaker would come out at night and start poking around, breaking windows, and scratching the clear paint. The townsfolk were getting enough worried about their damaged cars, and they knew they had to do being, so they called the police. The courageous officers set up a plan to catch the bear red-handed. They put out some tempting snacks and left a trail of honey leading to a big net. One night, the bear took the lure, following the appetizing scent straight into the trap. The net fell and the bear was caught. The people cheered for their heroic police, who had eventually put an end to the car-stranding bear's darkness tricks. The city could sleep peacefully formerly more, knowing their cars were safe from the mischievous bear's paw prints. Creepy crawlies captured on trail cam. In the quiet darkness of the forest, hidden from natural eyes, being mysterious was passing. Trail cameras, like silent guardians, were landing the secrets of the night. These were not ordinary night scenes. They were filled with creepy crawlies that made your skin twinge with conspiracy and shivers. Imagine a moonlit night, where black stepped and leaves whispered secrets. Suddenly, the trail camera caught a spider spinning its intricate web, glistering with dew. The creepy silence was broken by the soft fluttering of nightsticks, captured flight in their search for prey. The camera's lens revealed slippery critters like owls, their eyes flashing like burning coals, and a curious raccoon scavenging for night snacks. As the night wore on, the trail camera's observant eye disclosed a world, many ever confirmation. It was a spine-clinking trip into the quiet nightly life of the forest, where creepy crawlies took center stage, and the darkness held its secrets nearby. Deer's day and night, wandering. Once upon a time, in a big wild forest, there was a graceful deer. This deer, a beautiful animal with soft brown fur and gentle eyes, wandered the woods day and night. Every morning it would wake up to the cheerful songs of chirping birds and the warm beams of the sun. During the day, the deer would explore the lush green forest, nibbling on the sweet, sensitive leaves and sipping from the clear, cool canals that crossed the woods. The deer was always careful, keeping an observance out for the sounds of peril and looking out for its fellow forest familiars. As the sun would set, painting the sky with vibrant colors, the deer's adventure continued. The night brought a different kind of magic to the forest. The deer would foot still, guided by the steely moonlight and the stars' gentle beat, searching for food and sharing secrets with the nightly animals. In this alluring timber, the deer's wandering was an everlasting tale of coherence and wonder, day and night, in the heart of nature's grab. Eerie encounters. One dark and stormy night, our security cameras recorded being truly crazy. As the rain cast the windows, the camera's alert eyes caught a series of unexplained, creepy events that transferred shivers down our spines. First, a mysterious figure appeared in the backyard, masked in dark. It moved like a ghostly wisp, making no sound and leaving no trace. We watched in unbelief as it wandered through the theater, dissolving into thin air. Next, camera picked up unaccountable spheres of light floating through the living room. These immaterial spheres danced and flicked, illustrating the dark corners of the way before dissolving without a trail. To make effects indeed creepier, a strange, unearthly noise sounded through the empty hallway. transferring the family into a fury. The camera captured their alarmed responses as they goggled at the unnoticeable intruder. These unexplained, weird circumstances continue to hang security footage, leaving us both beat and scarified with no reasonable explanation in sight. Deer's midnight wandering. Once upon a time, in a peaceful country, two curious deer named Daisy and Danny embarked on a moonlit adventure. The estate was covered in darkness, with the only source of light being the steely gleam of the full moon. As they ventured through the open fields, the high field whispered secrets to them, influencing gently in the cool breath. With their nimble legs, they gracefully bounded over small hedges and crawled around sleepy farm creatures. The night was alive with the alluring coherence of justices and the distant scream of an owl. Their eyes sparkled with wonder as they discovered the foamy dew on the field, reflecting the moonlight like 1,000 bitty stars. They nibbled on tender shoots of grass, savoring the darkness snack. The world appeared different at night, mysterious and full of magic. Side by side, the two deer wandered the estates, their hearts filled with the joy of exploring the quiet country under the observant eye of the moon. Huge ape caught on cam. In a deep, mysterious forest far down from the rush and bustle of natural life, a retired secret unfolded. One day, a stir-actuated trail camera captured being extraordinary. The footage was blurry, like trying to see through a misty window, but the sight was unmistakable. A colossal black aper-such-like animal. Its massive form moved gracefully through the thick leafage, its long, dark hair rustling in the wind. The timber sounded to hold its breath as this mysterious being passed by. With each step, it left behind a trail of wonder and admiration, alluring anyone who came off upon the footage. The critter's eyes were hidden in the dark, adding to the conspiracy and riddle enclosing it. This fugitive monster, being on the circumferences of our understanding, torched the imagination of those who watched the footage, leaving them with a sense of wonder. The mysterious coyote. In the serene mountains covered in snow, a camera captured an incredibly rare sight. It was a moment like no other, an uncommon sight of a mysterious creature. Instead of its typical haunting and wandering, a coyote was spotted doing something quite out of the ordinary. It was perched high up in a tree, munching on berries. This unusual scene left everyone astonished and perplexed. After all, coyotes aren't known for climbing trees, and this particular one appeared different, as if it held a secret. The mystery of this unique coyote remains unsolved, leaving everyone curious and longing for answers. How did it manage to climb that tree? That's the burning question on everyone's mind. It was an extremely rare event captured in this clip. The image of this puzzling coyote has stirred immense interest and curiosity. People are eager to understand this mysterious behavior, hoping it might uncover something new and intriguing about these creatures we thought we knew so well. It seems the snow-covered mountains hide more secrets than we could have ever imagined. Creepy humanoid. The home's CCTV captured a mysterious and eerie creature moving like a crab, walking on 4 bent legs across the road. Its appearance was unsettling and strange, leaving viewers puzzled about its identity. The sight was rare and enigmatic, sparking various speculations. Some thought it was a mutant dog, others suspected it to be a creepy alien. This moment filled anyone who saw it with fear and mystery. On the other hand, some strongly believed it resembled a ghoul, a demon-like or monstrous humanoid rooted in pre-Islamic Arabian religion. In modern stories, a ghoul typically refers to an undead humanoid creature that feeds on human flesh, quite horrifying and terrifying. However, the true nature of this cryptic creature remains a creepy mystery, giving chills to the camera operator and those nearby. The secret of this eerie being remains undisclosed, leaving everyone with a lingering sense of unease. Three-eyed creature. The camera caught a mysterious, uneasy clip. This video that was recorded is very cryptic and filled the air with spine-chilling and fear. In this video, the two friends are walking on the woodland. They wanted to test their new trail camera in these woodland. They faced the camera towards a spot where they thought wild animals might be left it overnight. They returned to see what they'd caught on camera. When they come to check what camera had recorded, the friends were very shocked, and everyone who viewed this video also shocked and horrified. There was a creature with 3 glowing eyes hiding in the bushes. It was looking very unfamiliar and scary. That held those operators or viewers in suspense and terrified. The air was truly enigmatic and fearful. The 3 eyes of this creature or being was very eerie and frightened. They are glowing and illuminated. It was a paranormal creature or something else? This was looking very spooky. That was still hidden or unrevealed yet. No one can point out what it was. Mysterious night figure. On a dark and moonless night, a peculiar incident unfolded in front of a home security camera. The camera, a silent observer, recorded a scene that sent chills down the spine. It captured a mysterious sight on the front lawn, enveloped in an air of mystery. From the dark, an unknown figure emerged, moving in an unexpected way. The figure seemed bent over, like a ghostly shadow caught on camera. But what was unsettling was not just the posture. It was the distinct impression of age that clung to this mysterious being. Its stooped back suggested an elderly appearance, as if time had twisted its spine. Oddly, the figure moved urgently, darting about with an unclear purpose, leaving its intentions unknown. The night was draped in mystery, and this strange sight became the talk among concerned residents. Speculation spread, but no one could identify this mysterious apparition or understand why it ventured out into the quiet night. The figure vanished as suddenly as it appeared, leaving behind only unanswered questions. These mysteries continued to haunt the curious minds of those who dared to ponder the unexplained and inexplicable. Killer clown. A strange and unsettling video emerged from a deep forest, puzzling both the operators and viewers. They witnessed a spooky clown figure that made them feel uneasy. This eerie clown was seen walking among the trees, only visible through the night vision of the trail camera. Strangely, it seemed like the clown noticed the hidden camera and confidently moved toward it. The reasons behind this mysterious figure's presence remained unclear. Why would someone be in a forest at night dressed as a clown? Was it a ghostly being, or just someone with an unusual hobby for late-night forest walks? The unexplained nature of this odd encounter left everyone confused. In the midst of the dark forest at midnight, the clown's appearance created a genuinely eerie and unsettling atmosphere, prompting numerous unanswered questions. A bulldog versus mountain lion. In the midst of a rugged mountain, a trail camera captures a predator mercilessly hunting its prey on a quiet, eerie night. Unexpectedly, another fierce predator appears, observing the same scene. Initially, a wild lion is seen devouring its meal until a bulldog meanders into the perilous territory. While the camera focuses on the bulldog exploring the area with confidence, it remains oblivious to the lurking danger of a stronger, more cunning force watching its every move. Like a looming shadow, the eyes of the mountain lion fixate on the unsuspecting bulldog, waiting to pounce on the intruder. In a swift and silent move, the mountain lion leaps towards the bulldog, leaving the video's conclusion uncertain, whether the bulldog escaped or fell prey to the mountain lion's attack. The mysterious creature. The camera recorded something strange in the deep forest. It showed a creature hiding behind a tree, unlike anything anyone had seen. This mysterious being looked like a bird but was really unusual. Its face was spooky, with deep, dark eyes and a skull-like appearance without any hair. It made everyone who saw it feel puzzled and unsure. This creature was so different from anything known in the woods, making everyone suspicious and curious. The sight of this mysterious creature left people wondering and fascinated by its oddness. The forest kept this strange creature a secret, making sure nobody could figure out what it really was. Zombie moose. Deep in the rugged mountains, a camera captured an unusual sight. Two moose, quite different from the ordinary ones, strolled leisurely across a small grassy area. Their presence was mysterious, their movements like a silent dance. Their huge, plate-sized horns stretched out in all directions, giving them an enigmatic look, along with an abnormal growth of skin hanging from their neck that was exceptionally large. These moose were far from the usual. Their graceful, mysterious way of moving raised many questions. Their massive, ancient-looking horns carried an air of fascination. As the recording played on, one couldn't help but wonder about the secrets held by these eerie creatures. They remained an unsolved mystery for anyone who encountered them, waiting to be understood. In that mountainous territory, they stood as guardians of the unknown, leaving a curious impression behind. Demonic ritual. Walking through a dangerous forest on one of the darkest nights ever, the camera caught sight of a scary ritual with evil creatures. The traveler, terrified, had stumbled upon a satanic gathering by mistake. In the video, a huge figure with horns and bloody eyes stared menacingly at the scared traveler who interrupted the ritual. The tension and fear were palpable in the heavy breathing. Soon, the sinister beings noticed the intruder, and everything turned dark, making the ritual disappear suddenly. The demonic figure, along with his unholy followers, surrounded the traveler like a threatening shadow of death and despair. The camera quickly showed the traveler trying to escape. In the background, you could hear the traveler's terrified cries, which were drowned out by the wicked laughter of Satan and his followers, echoing through the night as they captured their victim. A mystic forest serpent. Picture wandering through a spooky forest where tall trees reach for the sky but appear faded and dull due to thick, enveloping fog. This fog shrouds the forest, creating an eerie atmosphere, a perfect hideout for scary creatures. Now imagine a scene captured by a camera in the real world. A web-like structure entwines the trees, resembling a colossal rope with spikes of green and yellow. This twisted rope varies in length, turning the forest into an intricate maze. Surprisingly, as the camera focuses on this strange structure, it subtly slithers, slowly coiling around the trees. Amidst eerie noises and darkness, the camera continues to explore the size of this enormous rope, only to be interrupted by a massive snake. A serpent nearly 20 feet long, consuming the life out of those trees. This mysterious creature possesses a skull-like head with deeply hollow eyes, sharp teeth unlike any other anacondas seen before. It appears poised to engulf its prey in one swift motion, leaving no trace behind. Thank you for tuning in. If you found this video entertaining, don't hesitate to show your support by giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel for even more thrilling content. And remember to ring that notification bell to ensure you're always in the loop for our latest updates. Until next time, stay curious and stay tuned.
What the hell is that? What the hell?
A scary creature. This video was captured by a brave soul who thought it would be a really great idea to go out alone into the deep woods at night. He thought he'd end up meeting some unusual beings and, well, guess what? He got exactly what he was expecting. A creepy little cryptid staring right at him from behind the tree. Was it just waiting for the right moment to attack, or was it too scared to come out? The mystery has been unsolved since forever. Creepy trees. Considering the last clip, if you think the woods are only creepy and unsafe at night, let us tell you how wrong you are, and this video will prove it to you. These trees were recorded moving. Like literally moving from one place to another. Was it the neighborhood that annoyed them, or they felt unsafe due to humans? We could never know since trees don't talk. A cryptid. Now this one might be just an image taken by a trail cam and not a whole video, but this single image is enough for us to get an idea about how eerie and unbelievable life in the woods can be. Was it an alien or just an animal from an unusual angle? We can't say for sure, but you let us know if you have any ideas. Cross River Gorillas. If you think it's just another usual trail cam video which shows gorillas sitting here and there and busy with their normal routine, that's not the case. These aren't just any gorillas. These are the Cross River gorillas, and sadly they're endangered with only 200 individuals left to survive. In fact, these are the rarest gorillas on the whole planet. And this trail cam happened to capture these majestic creatures living their lives in Cameroon. Bigfoot. You must be thinking it's too dark and too blurry to actually determine that's a Bigfoot going about in the woods, but the size of the creature and what we can make out from the darkness, I don't see any chance of it being some other animal other than Bigfoot. I mean, we can see it walking on 2 feet and it being all dark and hairy, and its size as compared to the trees is pretty huge. Ask me and I'd say it's a Bigfoot for sure. A Mongolian death worm. This man had heard that mysterious creatures lurk in the desert, especially at night. So he did what anyone would do, set up a camera and waited for the night to pass so he could go check if it captured anything unusual. And to his surprise, it actually did. What was it? A death worm? An alien? A monster? We'll give you a moment to take a guess. But when he inspected it all, it turned out it was just a buffalo. But scary nonetheless. Don't worry, man, we were just as confused as you were. A wolf man. In June 2022, a man's security camera happened to click a photo which had the whole world in shock. Even the mainstream media couldn't help but feature it. They called it the Wolf Man. Nobody had any idea if that was someone playing a prank or was it really a wolf man. Sasquatch. At first, the residents of the area thought it was just a coyote responsible for the missing animals and spreading fear everywhere, so they set up cameras everywhere in hopes of catching the animal in the act. However, what the camera ended up recording was something that blew their minds. A huge creature was seen lurking in the woods. And what else could it be except for the famous Sasquatch, right? It was never caught, but was never seen ever again either. Maybe it's since that humans have come about it. A gliding creature. What do we call a person gliding through the streets? Not walking like normal human beings, but moving in some otherworldly form? We call it a ghost, and a ghost is what this CCTV camera ended up recording. Now, don't ask me whose ghost it was, because I don't know about that, but it does seem like in a hurry. Maybe he was going on his daily haunting duty. What do you say? A mysterious figure. A crooked, glowing creature moving in the weirdest way possible in the street. If I ever see something like that, I'm going to leave the country for good. I don't know how these people get the courage to actually stand there and record such stuff. And, well, as soon as this video hit the internet, it had everyone in shock. Questions arising from everywhere about the authenticity of the clip and the identity of the creature, but the questions had been unanswered ever since. A sneaky killer. How fast is a mountain lion, and how sneaky is it? If you find yourself wondering such questions, then we're here to give you answers. As this mountain lion sneaked up on the deer, and the deer was all clamped in its claws in a matter of mere seconds, and good thing this was all captured on a trail cam installed somewhere in California, and if you notice, the leap is right on the neck, fast and on target. Amazing. A terrifying encounter. When one cougar minded its own business, the other one was in a mood of letting the man know how dangerous he can be. So he ran as fast as he could towards the man and stopped just a few inches away. And he did it for 6 minutes straight. Might be the longest 6 minutes of that man's life. And about the man, I would say he did a great job at staying calm and not taking off running as most people would have done, and he never turned away from the cougar. And that's what saved his life. A bear fight. Recently, a trail camera recorded an intense brawl between two male bears. It all started when one of the bears let out a bone-chilling snarl, warning the other bear to back off. Things quickly escalated from there, with the bears wrestling and biting each other in a wild frenzy. The fight lasted for a few minutes before they eventually went their separate ways. It was a crazy scene that happened deep in the heart of the woods. A little girl. A creepy trail cam pic caused a stir online because a little girl was seen in the middle of nowhere with no humans around. People wondered how she got there or if she was a ghost, but it turns out she was just with her grandpa and the pic was taken in the woods. No need to be scared, she's a real human. The rake. This picture was captured by a trail camera in the dead of night. We haven't been able to investigate it further, but it appears to be a rake lurking in the darkness of the woods. We're keeping our eyes peeled for any updates, but for now, all we have is this eerie image, and people are saying it's real. A humpback whale. It isn't always the animals or the mysterious beings that lurk in the woods. Sometimes it's humpback whales also, found laying all deep in the woods. And how exactly the whale ended up there, so far away from the ocean? Well, that's been a mystery ever since. UFO. When a man went out to check his trail cam and what it captured this time, he was stunned to see the picture the camera had taken. To some, it appeared like two glowing eyes, and to others, it was a UFO. Since it was just a picture, we can't say if it was fake or just something which looks eerie. A trail cam attack. Crocodiles are super deadly creatures. They don't care about anyone or anything, not even if you're just trying to record them with a camera. They can sneak up on you real slow, and before you know it, you're stuck in their powerful jaws with no escape. Bobcat versus rattlesnake. These fierce felines hunt and chow down on all sorts of critters, but one time one of them got snapped by a camera while running into a rattlesnake on its way somewhere. It made sure to take out the snake before resuming its original plans, but man, it really had to work hard to take down that snake. It used its sharp claws and teeth to crush and bite the snake's head in an epic battle. A mountain lion. At first, the coyote could be seen running away from the camera's range of vision, and shortly after, the mountain lion appeared and chased after the coyote. And after a few seconds, we could hear the coyote screaming for help, indicating that the mountain lion had caught it. That's how fast these deadly lions are. A kangaroo fight. Have you ever seen videos of people fighting that go viral online? It happens quite a bit, right? But it's actually pretty rare to come across videos of kangaroos fighting. Well, I recently saw one on trail camera footage. These two kangaroos were squabbling and it was pretty interesting to watch. The fight started when they grabbed each other by the neck and tried to knock each other over. But in the end, they both walked away peacefully. Pretty cool, huh? A ghost girl. A home security camera in Texas ended up recording a girl dressed in all white walking through the backyard. When the family saw it, they were all perplexed as the girl was not someone they knew or had ever seen. But then, who was it? A ghost? Or just someone pulling a prank? A creepy being. Humans have a natural curiosity that drives them to investigate anything unusual. But in this particular case, a man took his curiosity to the extreme. He heard strange sounds coming from the woods and decided to explore it late at night to see if he could find anything interesting. To his surprise, he stumbled upon a strange creature behind a tree, making weird whistle-like sounds.
What the hell is that? What the hell?
Realizing the danger, he quickly ran away as fast as he could without looking to see if the creature was following him. It seems his curiosity got the best of him in this scary encounter. Amazonian dog. The Amazon rainforest is a place where you can find unique and unusual creatures. People often put trail cameras there to capture these animals. Recently, a rare Amazonian short-eared dog was spotted on one of these cameras. The species was thought to be almost extinct for a while, and researchers were losing hope of finding any. However, this video gave them new hope. The dog was just sniffing around in the forest like any other day. Teams have been sent to locate the dog so that it can be kept safe in a preserve and live longer. Again it. When these pictures went viral online, they really got people talking. They show a little cat sitting on top of some big animals, which surprised a lot of folks. Nobody could believe how chill the cat was about it. Some people even made jokes about the cat being the boss of all the other animals. But then some experts gave their 2 cents and said that the cat, which is called a genet, was likely using the other animals as a lookout point to find prey. That's pretty clever if you ask me. An alien. There was a guy in Brazil who saw something strange on a rooftop while he was doing his own thing and decided to record it. What he captured was a weird creature that looked like a huge ant hanging out on the roof. Some people thought it was extraterrestrial, but to me it looks like a really big ant. Brazil has all sorts of creepy crawlies, so who knows what else is out there, right? The freakiest part is that the creature vanishes right after the guy spots it. What was it doing up there? We may never find out. Night walkers. Have you ever seen those spooky creatures people call night crawlers or soul walkers? They can give you the creeps, but they're also strangely calming. There's this video from California back in 2011 that shows 2 stick-like figures walking through the woods. They almost look like a family of ghosts, with one resembling a little baby ghost and the other maybe a ghost mom or dad. It's a peaceful and serene scene, and I hope they were able to keep wandering about undisturbed. A clown. Trail cameras are used to take pictures of animals in the wild, but sometimes they capture something really creepy. Like this one time, a man in a clown mask was caught on camera in the forest at night. We don't know what he was doing there, or if he was even a real person. The spooky clown stared right at the camera before vanishing into the woods, giving everyone the creeps. Who knows what other scary stuff is out there lurking in the shadows? A mouse deer. The deep, dark woods conceal secrets and elusive creatures that have managed to evade human detection. Despite our assumptions that certain species have gone extinct, they persist in their natural habitats, hidden from our eyes. However, a trail camera recently captured a remarkable sighting in Vietnam, a 2-tone mouse deer that scientists believed had been extinct for 30 years. The footage astonished the world as it revealed a healthy and lively creature meandering through the woods. Monster in the woods. Some friends were having the time of their lives camping in the woods, having snacks and bonfire and movie night. But then one of the friends went somewhere and minutes passed, but she did not come back. While they were all worried, they had to go check on her. And as they ventured deep into the woods searching for the friend, at first they hear her scream. And then a strange creature comes into view. A spider-like being crawling terrifyingly towards them. What was that? Well, nobody knows. Mysterious being. These 2 guys were out in the woods late at night. They thought it was a good idea to have some fireworks where no one will get disturbed. However, what they did not know is that someone will get disturbed, and it won't be good for them. As they were doing their thing, shrieks could be heard, and then they decided to go investigate it. And that's when we see the weirdest being possible shrieking and following the men.
Is it still there?
Go! No! Run! Run!
They did make it out alive, but that was one hell of a close call. An alien. Who recorded this video? Who uploaded it on the internet? What exactly was this alien doing? Well, these are some of the questions which remain unanswered, and we're only left with this eerie clip, which looks like it belongs to some kind of secret alien interrogation thing. And if you ask me, I'd say from the view of it, the video looks as legit as anything can be. But do let us know what you guys think. A scary looking thing. About this video, everyone has their own opinions. Some say it's just a gorilla, while others say it's a weird crawling creature, and to some it also looks like a spider. However, no matter what the being is, the way it slowly moves towards the camera, freaking out the man recording it.
What the fuck is that? Okay.
Looks like something straight out of a horror movie. A terrifying beast. As a man was recording this massive waterfall, he started noticing something weird. As he zoomed in, he saw a mysterious black creature at the very edge of the waterfall. What was it? Definitely not a plant, because the area did not look like it had any plants there. To some, it was an unknown being, while to others, it was someone with safety gear sitting at a very dangerous spot. Real or fake? It looked really creepy. A visitor. Imagine you're at home, catching some me time or just enjoying some alone time when you glance over and see an alien's head staring straight at you through the window. I mean, that'd freak anyone out, right? Luckily for us, a guy with a camera in his home caught the whole thing on video. It's easily one of the spookiest and clearest sightings of an alien ever caught on camera. A creepy monster. This massive creature was filmed by a man who went out to do some walk in the woods. When he was on it, he heard voices which sounded very similar to a baby crying. Intrigued, he had to go see where the sound was coming from and came across this. A giant weird thing crying and crawling on the ground. But worry not, because this is just a giant salamander who's known to vocalize barking, whining, hissing, or crying sounds. A strange creature. This trail cam footage might look very normal to you at first, but wait till it starts getting creepier. See that? See how the deer was about to turn into some kind of a monster? Well, it's been edited with some pretty impressive AI software that makes the deer look like they're transforming into demonic creatures. I just wanted to share it to show how advanced our technology has become. Pretty scary, right? A river monster. At first, people watching it thought it was an alligator or something, but then they saw it move in the strangest way possible. It was moving only with the help of its strong tail. Also, its front legs were missing. Was it just an alligator with its front legs missing? Or is it some type of evolving river monster which will wash out the whole human race? What do you guys think? A yak. This man was out mountain biking when this happened. He came across a very, very angry yak. Even though the yak couldn't do much harm, he did try charging at them.
Dangerous here. Oh, you get back.
And ask me, and I would say that was one terrifying yak, don't you agree? A creepy thing. This man happened to capture a creepy alien-like creature on camera. He was continuously hearing noises from the back, and he had to go check. And that's how he came across this. Was it an alien, or just something fake? I guess we'll never know. But if it was true, I say we all hide in our homes, because who knows what other weirdness is lurking out there? Someone in the window. This man had some previous encounters with the supernatural, thus he wanted camera installed everywhere, even in his bedroom. And one night, when he was sleeping peacefully, he sensed someone was watching him through the window. He got up ASAP and turned the lights on, and that's when we see the ghostly figure in the window. It looked like it was waving, maybe? Seriously, how creepy is that? A siren head. A man in Amsterdam was recording the pretty after sunset sky when he ended up getting one terrifying creature on the camera, a siren head. Yes, you heard it right. This massively huge siren head was seen. However, at first it was just some scary noises, and it took a few seconds before the monster came into sight. What do you guys think? Is it fake? Or do siren heads really exist in real life? An alien. This video is captured in an unknown location and shows a mysterious creature hiding behind a tree. As the camera approaches the tree, the creature briefly peers out from between the branches. Many have noted that it looks very much like an alien gray with a giant head, thin body, and large black eyes. Not much information is available about the clip, but it was likely filmed in a wooded area, maybe a forest or park. Could this creature actually be an alien from another world? A creepy creature. Dark web is something we all know about, but not everyone can access. And trust me, the ones who did access it ended up regretting. Take this video for example. We see a creepy creature moving in the house from hallway to the room and then to God knows where. And if you're thinking it was human, just look at the way it's walking. Does that look human to you? Alien-like figure. In July 2021, some people were on their way back to their home in India. According to them, it was somewhere around midnight when they came across this creepy figure walking along the road. Good thing they had a dash cam installed in their car, so we got this footage. And just look at the way it's walking. It seems like an alien to me. But do let us know what you guys think. A strange worm. A man in Australia was out for his routine walk when he came across this strange-looking worm-like thing. It's not the fact that it looks like a worm that makes it strange, but it's the length of the thing and the way it's divided into multiple segments is what makes it strangest of all. I've never seen any worm of such length before. A sneaky being. This man heard some strange noises from the forest and decided to venture out there late at night to see if he could find something interesting. However, he came across a bizarre creature lurking behind a tree and making creepy whistle-like noises. When he spotted it, he sprinted away as fast as he could, and fortunately, he managed to escape without harm. Another Yeti. The person who filmed the video was extremely surprised by the massive creature that he captured. However, the shocker was that the creature was nowhere to be seen when they returned the next day to film it again. This caused a frenzy online as people tried to decipher what it could be. Some speculated it might be a Nephilim or a Yeti, while others believed it could be a top-secret military project. A baby mermaid. You must have always heard about mermaids being a mythical creature, but this video will get you doubting that. A man in India saw something unusual swimming in the water and went to inspect it, and to his surprise, it was something which looked exactly like a mermaid, just a little smaller in size than we all must have expected. Perhaps it was a baby mermaid, or maybe just a little monkey drowning. With the video ending so abruptly, there's nothing we can say for sure. A Yeti. Now, sighting a Bigfoot here and there and from a very far away angle is one thing, but capturing a really big creature falling and tumbling down is just on another level. And this is exactly what this man was able to capture on his camera. Two big creatures, or perhaps Yetis, were seen devouring an animal, and a second passes and we see one tumbling down the icy hill. Even though it was recorded in 2016, to this day, no logical explanation has been given by anyone. A crawling creature. This video literally has everyone spooking out as they see a weird glowing creature in the middle of nowhere at night crawling on the ground. Some call it the rake, while others think it's just some unknown animal. But the ones who happened to record it said it looked similar to a human, but was not a human at all. So then what was it? I guess we'll never know. Bear versus mirror. Trail cameras usually capture animals chilling, hunting, and going along their normal life. But sometimes these cameras capture things out of the ordinary. For instance, this bear was just going along his way when he suddenly saw something he'd never seen before. His own reflection. And needless to say, we do not think he liked it a lot. A Bigfoot. Camera can be handy at times, but we need to be careful because sometimes trying to record dangerous things can lead to unfortunate circumstances. For instance, take the case of this man who tried to record a Bigfoot strolling along in the woods. Guess he was lucky, or maybe hiding perfectly, that the creature didn't notice him, or we wouldn't have been able to get this footage. Mysterious creature. A couple had been noticing weird noises in their backyard, but they'd never been able to know what was causing it, so they installed a camera there. It was all peaceful and quiet at first as nothing suspicious happened, but as some time passed, we saw a creepy head popping out of the fence. We see it once, then we see it twice. Was it just a dog, or was it something which had remained hidden from us since forever? A brave man. This footage might not be as disturbing or creepy as many others in today's list, but this is unusual nonetheless. As we see this Florida man dancing along with the alligator, we can't help but rub our eyes twice to make sure this is real. And trust us, this is real. Florida sure is one strange place. A sewer creature. This dude was filming and caught a freaky creature hiding in the shadows. It only showed itself when he stopped moving, and it had these creepy glowing eyes. But when he tried to get closer, the thing bolted back into the dark. Now we're left with more questions than answers, wondering what the heck that thing even was. An elk. So there was a video that captured an elk on a trail cam wearing a tire like a necklace. Crazy, right? This poor elk had the tire around his neck for 2 years while going about his daily life. As time passed, his neck and antlers grew bigger, which made it impossible for him to remove the tire by himself. Luckily, wildlife officials came to the rescue. They gave the elk some medicine to make him sleep and attempted to remove the tire. Sadly, they had to remove his antlers too. But don't worry, the elk will grow a new pair of antlers in due time. Dancing bear. The Wildlife Channel put cameras in the jungle to see the animals there. They were hoping to film them doing normal things, but what the cameras showed was surprising. The bears they caught on camera were dancing and moving their bodies like Shakira. It's pretty amazing that bears can dance like that, but did you know that bears also get itchy? And instead of scratching themselves with their paws like we do, they use trees. And look at them go. They're really enjoying themselves, aren't they? Lion intruders. When you go camping, unexpected guests might drop by, like mosquitoes and other bugs if you're lucky. But if you're not, like the guy in this video, a big male lion and 2 lionesses might pay you a visit. The man was sleeping soundly in his tent when all of a sudden this happened. Luckily, he stayed put and didn't try to run away. The lion seemed more curious than anything and didn't harm him. Despite the scare, the camper had an unforgettable night. Breathing earth. So there's this really weird thing that a camera caught in the forest. It looked like the earth was moving up and down, almost like it was taking a break from spinning and going around the sun. People call it the breathing earth because it's like the ground is breathing. This happens when the wind is strong and the ground is loose. It can be pretty scary if you don't know what's going on. You might think the earth is going to swallow you up. It's definitely one of the craziest things ever caught on trail camera. A massive spider. Someone caught a really creepy video and posted it online. It shows a creature that looks like a spider or maybe a crab, and it scared a lot of people. At first, I thought it was just a dog dressed up in a spider suit, but when I took a closer look, I realized it definitely wasn't a dog. The only dog in the video looked totally freaked out by the weird bent-legged things too. So we're all pretty confused about what it could be. Buck shedding antlers. So there was this male deer in Ottawa, Canada that got caught on camera losing its antlers. It might seem strange to us, but it's actually a regular thing for male deer to lose their antlers in winter to make way for new ones. The shedding process usually happens from late winter to early spring. It was funny to see that the deer in the video seemed surprised by what was happening and ran away looking confused. Weird lights. It's really hard to figure out what those lights in the sky are. Some people think they might be aliens, but others think it's just a bug in front of the camera. Do you think this means aliens are visiting us, or maybe they're here but we don't even know it? Also, what about those strange flying objects we sometimes see? The government just released a report on them, but there's still not enough evidence to know for sure what they are. Bird murmuration. We know how birds travel from one place to another in flocks, all flying together to search for new places to live and feed, right? But this murmuration of a massive flock of birds was just something else. Even the researchers said they'd never seen such a kind of behavior in birds before, and that it might be alarming as well. And unusual phenomenon. Do you doubt the existence of Bigfoot and other creatures like that? Well, check this out. There's some drone footage that might make you think twice. In the video, you can see some enormous trees shaking like crazy as if a giant monster is trying to pull them out of the ground. And we're not talking about puny trees. These ones are huge and super tall. No way could a person or machine do something like that. So do you still believe that Bigfoots are just made-up stories? A fox family. And this video was captured on a trail cam, and it's just too cute to miss. You can see a mother fox and her 4 cubs all playing around and annoying their mom a bit, but she doesn't seem to mind at all. What's even more amazing is that the family seems completely oblivious to the fact that they're being recorded. The subscribers pick. This picture shows a Bigfoot walking through the woods. It was taken by a trail cam installed in the Charleston area, but when they went to investigate it, it turned out to just be a cutout of a cardboard, which was all part of a prank pulled by someone. A self-loving bear. Believe it or not, this bear from Boulder, Colorado has become the new selfie champ. The story goes that this curious creature found a camera with a motion sensor and decided to go wild with it. The outcome? More than 400 snapshots of the bear posing in all kinds of ways, giving his best sultry gaze and even making some goofy faces. This bear wasn't going to quit until it got every picture just right for social media. Strange little beings. Now, these little beings were found by a woman on her kitchen floor. And if you're thinking these are little mice, no, they are not. According to the experts, the legs of the creatures resembled moths, and there's a chance that the upper body might have been eaten by a cat, but the experts weren't so sure either. So we don't know what these tiny little beings were. Buck in a wig. Have you ever come across the buck who's the handsomest of all? The bad boy grazing the grass and winning all the ladies with his wig on? Well, now you have. This buck was recorded in 2013 and caught the attention of everyone with his stylish wig. It was at first part of his antlers, but then slowly moved on top of his head, making him the most stunning buck ever. A creepy deer. Did you check out that weird video of a goat standing still and staring straight ahead? It's been all over the web and everyone's losing it. Some peeps reckon it might be the mythical skinwalker, while others are calling BS. We ain't got a clue who shot it, so it's all up to our own imaginations.
Hello. She wants to come in.
Damn, one thing's for certain. It's super creepy. Alien in graveyard. Footage was uploaded by some unknown guy in 2017, and it had everyone in shock who happened to watch it. At first, we see the quiet of a cemetery, but then as the camera rolls on, we catch a glimpse of a bizarre humanoid figure half hiding behind a grave. If we zoom into it, we see a weird being with a huge head and arms. It fits so accurately to what we have in mind for an alien, don't you think? A haunted tunnel. This might be too short of a clip, but a mere second is enough to feel the spookiness of the video. We see a creepy figure emerging from the dark and running straight towards the man holding the camera. And then we see the man running as fast as he can for his life. I'm not going near any tunnels from now on. Rake. A kid was out in the woods when he started hearing some weird noises, and that's when he decided to take his phone out and film it while trying to see what was causing it. And to his surprise, it wasn't just him who was looking for the creature. The creature was also looking for him, and that we get to know when he comes out of the woods and starts running towards the kid. A creepy girl. Back in 2013, there was this video that spread like wildfire online. It showed a lone girl dressed in white walking around a cemetery while some men recorded her. The video lasted about 4 minutes, and the girl was shown wandering around the graveyard, stopping by different graves. Who was she? Did she happen to be a ghost? These and countless other questions were thrown around, but no one had any answers to offer. A crawling thing. In this video, we see a courageous person exploring an empty house using only a flashlight. While exploring, the person begins to feel uneasy, and then a frightening creature appears from the darkness, moving towards them and making terrifying sounds. The person quickly runs away from the house, clearly scared by the unknown creature. Although we don't know what the creature was, it's obvious that the abandoned house is not a suitable place for those who are easily frightened. A deer. At first, we see a deer all panicking, running from here to there, and eventually running away from the man. And in a second emerges another deer unlike any other, with its neck all folded. And then it runs away too, as fast as it could. All this happens in a few seconds, and the man there is like, what just happened? Even though it was just 2 deer, that does not make the video any less creepy. A weird body. In May 2019, a woman found a weird body laying in her yard in Florida. She immediately called the authorities to come and see what it was, and needless to say, they were all just as perplexed as she was. According to some, it was a big lizard. But what exactly caused the big lizard to dry up like that? Not even the bones were there. A frozen monster. It's not just forests and jungles that hide secrets beyond our imagination. Sometimes it's the ice, too. For instance, this man who ended up finding a Bigfoot all frozen up under the ice.
I can see its eyes and it's his head.
Maybe it got trapped inside by the cruel nature, or maybe it was just a hoax. Which, even if it was, I'll be scared as hell still. Snakes. This footage was filmed when a team of workers were told by some locals that they think there's a snake in their ceiling. None of them knew that it wasn't just a snake on that ceiling, but two massive snakes living up there. As the ceiling dropped, the snakes almost dropped with it too, leaving everyone near them to jump back in horror. It happened in Malaysia, and since this video was uploaded, everyone there has been checking their ceilings twice every night. A giant spider. Now, was it just a tiny spider looking so big due to being close to the trail cam, or was it a really massive spider lurking in the depths of the woods? It's up to you what you think, but if you ask me, I'm never going into those woods with such long-legged creatures crawling everywhere. Dwarves. Are dwarves real, or are they just works of fantasy? I guess you'll be shocked to know that there's a chance that these creatures might be real. I mean, look at this video and the small things in the jungle. Don't they look very similar to what a dwarf would be like? Someone in the sink. I don't know if any of you might have guessed it, but this one is also from Florida. She wanted to check the outside bathroom, which was along the pool, and it seemed all fine until she went up close to the sink and found this thing hiding inside. But the question here is, what was it? A snake? A lizard? A gecko? And because it's Florida, we can't really say anything for sure. Glowing eyes. Imagine you're out with friends on a drive late at night and you encounter this in the way. Well, this is what happened to these guys who were just having fun when not just one but two pairs of creepy glowing eyes started staring at them. Even though the creatures were far and the guys were in the car, that was not enough to make them any less scared. A creepy doll. Once a man was in the forest gathering some logs when he stumbled upon something peculiar. We're not exactly sure what was going through his mind, but he ended up picking up this eerie doll and taking it back to his home. To make matters even more bizarre, he even decided to record the doll while it was doing who knows what. If it were me, I wouldn't even dream of doing something like that. Not even in a million years. A mutated spider. If you think giant mutated spiders are only in the sci-fi movies, you think wrong, and this video will show you how. People in Ragasnika were shocked when one morning they saw this giant spider crawling across this hill. Luckily, it was far away from the population, so no one got harmed. But the most mysterious part is that the spider just vanished in a few minutes. Where did it go? No one knows. A scary smile. Let me give you some advice. If you're out late at night and see a tunnel on the way, it's better to turn your car around and drive as far away from the tunnel as possible, because if you don't, something like this might be waiting for you inside. This creature with the creepiest smile possible was waiting at the entrance, and whatever happened to the people, we'll never get to know because the video just ended there. An unknown insect. Okay, so what comes into your mind when you first see it? Me, being dumb, thought it was the grass walking, but it turns out to be some kind of insect, a very tiny one. Though the man who uploaded it didn't happen to have any kind of information about it, and the thing was just as unusual to him as it is to all of us. But let us know if you guys have any info on this one. A spooky creature. This hairless creature was discovered by a group of plantation workers. It had small ears, no tail, and a bald, brownish-gray body with sharp claws. The workers were frightened by its odd appearance and believed it was a supernatural entity coming to haunt them. They attacked the creature, but afterward, specialists in nature explained that it was an uncommon Malayan sun bear. The workers were rebuked for their harsh behavior, and the bear was relocated to its natural habitat in the woods. A creature in the woods. As the videographer was recording a moose by the side of the road in Gaspésie, Quebec, Canada, they noticed an oddity in the footage. Although the moose was initially the only thing in view, the viewer became curious about a strange figure on the back left of the video. The clip gained a lot of attention online, and many people made guesses about what the enigmatic figure could be, ranging from supernatural beings to extraterrestrial life forms. The question of what could be hiding in the Quebec wilderness remains unanswered, causing people to wonder. This image is taken from two videos, one which shows a ghost attempting to hide from something, and to do that he jumps into the water. This whole thing was recorded on a trail cam set nearby to look for animals. The next clip shows an alien-like figure peeking from behind the tree. If it wasn't for the glowing eyes, the figure might have gone unnoticed and considered to be just part of the tree. Something hanging from goat. In the video, a group of individuals is seen walking at night with torches and sticks while leading some goats. Everything seems ordinary until you spot a white goat with an unusual object hanging from its neck. The men appear frightened by the object, which stays attached to the goat even when they attempt to take it off. Eventually, it resembles a strange shadow on the ground, swiftly heading towards the forest and vanishing. To me, it appears quite disturbing. What are your thoughts on what it might be? A ghost. Many people believe that Cannock Chase is the most haunted town in the UK due to the numerous reports of paranormal events that have occurred over the years. However, there were still some doubts until a video surfaced online featuring a girl in a white dress standing in the forest. It was later discovered that she was actually a black-eyed girl in a school uniform. The eerie footage was captured by a drone and quickly became viral, leaving millions of people, especially those residing in the vicinity, feeling uneasy. Missing prisoner. This epic video was recorded by a drone which was actually helping the police find a prisoner who somehow got away and was hiding somewhere. And well, the view the drone gave was enough for them to see the man laying in the field. As soon as he heard the drone, he knew he was in trouble. Of course, you can guess what happened next. He got caught. A zombie ghost town. It isn't always the Bigfoot and the rakes that the drones spot. Sometimes it's way more than that. Take this clip for example. These two friends were out exploring an abandoned ghost town through their drone camera, and that's when they came across this eerie sight. Zombies. Or maybe at least it looked like it. And it wasn't just one. They spotted more than one and also some people who were trying to take them down. Now, we think they're zombies, but if you have any better explanations, do let us know. A massive being. A gentleman in Mexico saw a massive creature strolling up the mountainside. To those who suspect that it might be untrue, be aware that it's not fabricated. Judging by the size of the buildings, the mountains, and the creature, it was certainly a Bigfoot walking along the hills, headed in an unknown direction. A creepy monster. This video was filmed in the UK and shows an unusual creature hopping across the road. Locals had reported seeing a strange being for months before the footage was shared, but no one believed them until they witnessed it firsthand. The identity of the creature remains a mystery, but do let us know if you guys know anything about it. Dobby. Can you decide if this spooky video captured by a family's CCTV is weird or not? They initially believed it was their son pulling a Halloween joke, dressed in a costume that had skinny legs and a head similar to Dobby from Harry Potter. However, they found out it wasn't him by comparing it to their son's appearance and even making him reenact the scene with underwear on his head. So if it wasn't their son, then what could it be? Was it just a figment of their imagination or something more ominous lurking in the darkness? A spider. This footage captures an enormous spider scaling a building. Truly a colossal creature that invokes a sense of dread. It's hard to imagine encountering such a creature in person. In fact, the image is so vivid that it may linger in my thoughts for some time to come. Although I cannot confirm its authenticity, I'm not taking any risks and will steer clear of the location where this video is filmed. Teleportation. A drone in the US captured a video that reportedly shows a man teleporting. The video starts with the man walking by the roadside, but he suddenly disappears into thin air. This raises a lot of questions, such as when he went and how he was able to do it. Unfortunately, no additional information could be uncovered. A scary woman. What are you doing if you see an abandoned church in the middle of nowhere? At least you won't be going in, right? But these guys decided to go inside and check what's happening there. And well, I guess that got what they were expecting. A creepy woman in a white dress sitting all alone. And creeping the hell out of them. Mass burial. Now, this one isn't the usual found this creature type of clip. Instead, this one shows the heartbreaking moments of a mass burial which had to happen after the recent earthquake that hit Turkey. Hundreds of unidentified people had to meet their end like that. May they all rest in peace. Amazon tribe. Back in 2016, after exploring the Amazon forest, Jose Carlos Morales came across a tribe that had not been contacted before. It's hard to believe, isn't it? Morales observed that these people had painted their bodies in a bright red hue, which may have come from crushed seeds or other sources. He mentioned that these Indian tribes had fled from other parts of the continent and settled in the Amazon rainforest near Brazil. It's amazing to think that there are still tribes out there that have never had any contact with the outside world. Loch Ness Monster. The concept of an unknown creature hiding in the deep and dark waters has always intrigued people. Although we rarely witness such sightings, sometimes they turn out to be real and mysterious, while other times they're just a fake trick. Recently, a drone flying over a lake captured an enormous figure in the water. Could it be the legendary Loch Ness Monster, or something else concealed in the depths? It's up to you to decide. Humpback whales. Whenever drones are used to capture footage of the ocean, we can witness some amazing sights from nature. Take, for example, this video where we see whales creating a spiral shape that follows the Fibonacci sequence. It's truly remarkable to observe the whales in action from the very beginning of their movements all the way up to the moment they break the surface to consume their prey inside the large air bubble rings they create. It's simply awe-inspiring. A drone ghost. Do you believe that the image of ghosts wearing white cloth and shining bodies is only limited to movies? Well, you might need to reconsider that thought. Recently, a video captured an object that appeared to be a ghost floating around and investigating an area. But as it gets closer to the camera, you'll come to realize that it's actually a drone which has been made to look like a ghost by someone, probably for Halloween. Although it's not real, it still looks impressive, don't you think? Old Car City. Old Car City, located in the United States, is a renowned junkyard covering 34 acres near White, Georgia, housing over 4,000 cars. The vast collection of cars makes it hard to look in any direction without seeing them. Visitors can walk along almost 6 miles of paths within the property, but the owner charges extra for photography. So, have you considered a photo shoot at this fascinating location? Kangaroo attack. It's not okay to harm baby animals, no matter how tiny or weak they may be. A video recently captured a mother kangaroo chasing and taking down a flying drone that was filming her adorable babies. The mother kangaroo likely saw the drone as a danger to her young and acted to keep them safe. It's unknown if the person operating the drone was able to retrieve it, but they should definitely think twice before upsetting another protective mama kangaroo. A Bigfoot. Get ready to be scared by a new sighting in Alberta, Canada. Andrew Dawson recorded a video that seems to reveal a huge being, perhaps from a tribe of giants who come from that area, strolling on top of a mountain with no clear support. The dark form is so immense that it was initially spotted by 2 commuters during their regular drive. Many people are now curious if the tales about giants in this part of the world are factual, or if something more ominous is hiding in the Alberta mountains. Sharks. The drone video displays a swimmer calmly resting on top of a group of sharks without any apparent concern for her safety. The video was captured by a tourist flying a drone off the shore of the Maldives. While snorkeling, the group spotted a gathering of nurse sharks who were mostly harmless to humans. One adventurous woman decided to join them in the water. While this is a peaceful way to connect with nature, it's also risky because a large shark could mistakenly attack and the consequences could be fatal. Bird runs on water. This man was holding a little bird who appeared to be calm at first, but as soon as the man put it down, the bird did not even wait for a second before running on the water and as far away from the man as possible. Though I should mention that this little guy is so me running away from my responsibilities. A giant wolf. Let's say you're out at night having the time of your life with your friends and suddenly out of nowhere you get to see the massive animal coming out of the dark and staring right at you. I don't know why these guys just decided to stay there and film it. That creature's a gigantic wolf, man. Your best bet's to run for your life. A baby bird. We're all aware that nature has its unique way of functioning, but there are times we're just left shocked by the way nature makes things. For instance, take this example. This tiny bird looks like something out of a horror movie. Like it's gonna grow big and then end humanity. And can you believe it? This is what they look like when they grow up. Volcano. Recently, numerous individuals climbed a steep trail to witness an active volcano located on Iceland's Reykjanes Peninsula. Despite the danger involved, people took the risk as it's not a common occurrence to see an active volcano in all its splendor. Nevertheless, officials have declared that using a drone is a safer way to experience the site. This footage presents a picturesque view that appears to be captured on a different planet with volcanic activity. But don't let its beauty deceive you, as this natural wonder could turn into a calamity. Titanoboa. Recorded in unclear water, this footage displays a colossal snake attempting to locate an exit. Its actual size could be miscalculated, but by comparing it to nearby items, it's presumed to be roughly 40 feet in length. This video is a frightening indication that these Titanoboas may be present, conceivably concealed. Moose. Take a look at this breathtaking drone footage that captured an incredible moment in nature that most of us never got to witness. This majestic moose shed its antlers and took off into the wilderness. The drone captured the moment in stunning clarity, and you could almost feel the excitement of witnessing such a rare occurrence. This video stood out from the rest with its perfect timing, impeccable camera quality, and the sheer beauty of the natural surroundings. A drone sacrifice. Ever wondered how we get all these amazing footages of volcanoes erupting from such close angles? Well, apparently lots of drones are sacrificed in this ritual. And even though it's very sad, but the drone which gave us these amazing shots of an active volcano in Vanuatu is no more with us either. Respect for our fallen soldier. World's biggest cemetery. Take to the skies with this drone footage capturing the world's largest cemetery in Iraq. Spanning an impressive 1,485.5 acres, this sprawling site is home to over 5 million graves. From above, the enormity of this burial ground is striking, with an endless sea of tombstones stretching out in all directions. Despite its somber purpose, the sheer magnitude of this cemetery is both breathtaking and awe-inspiring. As the camera glides overhead, it's easy to imagine the stories and histories buried beneath the surface, reminding us of the significance and power of honoring those who have passed. Reindeers. Lately, some really strange animal videos have been going viral on the internet, and it's freaking people out. The latest one was shot by a drone, and it shows a bunch of reindeer walking around in a circle like they're hypnotized or something. Some folks think this is a sign from above that the world is coming to an end, or that a major natural disaster is about to go down. Nobody really knows for sure what's going on, and even the experts are stumped. An alligator. Flying a drone in for a close-up of an alligator might get you a cool shot, but it might be the last thing your drone ever sees. This is what a travel blogger in the Florida Everglades learned when she attempted to capture footage of an alligator. She flew her new drone towards the gator for a closer view. Suddenly, the alligator leaped up and bit through the drone's battery.
Suddenly.
Talk about indigestion. Sadly, the blogger lost her drone, but gained a viral video. Huntsman spider. If you're afraid of spiders, you might want to skip this part, because what's coming up next is going to give you the creeps for at least a week. It's the huntsman spider, and as its name suggests, it's one of the scariest spiders out there. Just take a look at its enormous size. If I saw one of these in my room, I'd seriously consider moving to a different country. Police drones. Although drones are considered groundbreaking technology, not everyone is fond of them. Criminals in particular are at risk of being caught due to their presence. However, it's not people catching them, but rather the Japanese police using their own drones equipped with nets to catch rogue or trespassing drones. It's quite a sight to witness the police drones apprehending other drones, and feels like something straight out of an action movie. The authorities only deploy these drones when they notice suspicious-looking drones in the sky. A Russian soldier. An astonishing video has emerged on the internet displaying the exceptional courage of a Russian soldier. The soldier caught a drone bomb dropped on him by Ukrainian forces and threw it away instantly. The soldier's swift response rescued his own life and those of others present. This occurrence reminds us of the continuing conflict between Russia and Ukraine and the bravery of soldiers risking their lives on both sides. An octomoose. Okay, now this is one trippy video which will leave you all shocked and confused. How is this even real? Walking with 8 legs with no care of anything? Well, let us tell you. If you look closely, it's just 2 moose walking really close to each other. A missing kid. In September 2022, a small boy got lost in the woods as it was getting dark and more frightening. The boy had no way of escaping, but luckily the police officers had a great plan. They decided to use a thermal camera on a drone to locate the boy. After a thorough search, the drone spotted something deep in the woods. The drone then directed the police, ambulance, and fire crews to the boy's location. The crews found the boy safe and sound. An alien. This video was captured by a home security system, and it shows a man walking out of his front door and disappearing in a burst of light. This is causing everyone to question what exactly occurred to him. Some believe it could be a prank, while others speculate that it's a sign of extraterrestrial beings or a groundbreaking new invention. Regardless, it's extremely mind-boggling. The rake. Just picture yourself exploring the woods with your drone camera, enjoying the scenery, when suddenly you spot something strange out of the corner of your eye. This is exactly what happened to a YouTuber and their friend while filming nature's calm beauty. At first, they assumed it was a coyote moving behind the trees, but as they flew the drone closer, they were startled to discover it was something far more bizarre and unsettling. The creature appeared to be human-like, but moved in a very peculiar and creepy way. Even now, nobody knows what this strange figure was, but the drone footage is enough to make your skin crawl. Abandoned bicycles. Looks like China's bicycle rental companies were pedaling too hard, but didn't quite manage to stay on track. A few years ago, bike rental services flooded China's market, overestimating the demand. As a result, millions of colorful bikes were left abandoned, causing traffic and congestion. Companies couldn't control the situation, leading to closures and thousands of leftover bikes scattered everywhere. Drone footage captured bicycle graveyards in every major city, rusting away as mountains of abandoned bikes. A perfectly frozen lake. The freezing weather usually doesn't have much to offer, but this amazing ice skating video is an exception. It'll leave you in awe and a bit scared at the same time. A man from Utah captured the breathtaking drone footage of an ice skater gracefully gliding across a frozen lake. Since the skater's drone footage was posted on Instagram, thousands of people have been left speechless. Rock of Nazla. The Rock of Nazla, or as everyone calls it, Al-Nasla, is located in Saudi Arabia, and it's said that it was the aliens who cut it in half, because no human could do that. It looks like it was done with a laser or some advanced tool, but it's been around for ages, way before we had that kind of technology. So who or what actually did it? That's still a mystery waiting to be solved. Hand in Desert. The Hand of the Desert is truly an impressive sight, both in its size and location. Its mysterious presence in the midst of a vast desert landscape adds to its allure, and makes it a must-see destination for travelers exploring the region. The fact that it was created over 40 years ago and still stands as a remarkable work of art is a testament to the skill and creativity of the Chilean sculptor who crafted it. And this video happened to have captured the best possible view of it. Gate to Hell. As we head towards the Turkmen Desert, the drone footage reveals a blazing gas crater commonly called the Darvaza gas crater. It's situated near the village of Darvaza and spans across 230 feet in width. The fiery pit's been on fire for more than 5 decades, emitting a fiery glow that can be witnessed from afar. Due to its long-lasting flames, it's often referred to as the Gates of Hell. The crater was initially created in the early 1970s when the ground caved in during a Soviet gas drilling mission. To prevent natural gas leakage, scientists set the enormous hole on fire, and it's been burning ever since. This image is taken from an incident which happened in August 2022. A man was swimming in the lake when an alligator sneaked up on him and almost had him dead in its strong jaws. Luckily, the man survived as he put his hand in the gator's mouth to get the beast to let him go. This whole incident was recorded on a drone and had people in shock when it hit the internet. Mud volcano. The Tavern Wildlife Park recorded an unusual volcanic event in September 2022. The phenomenon was the Lipad mud volcano, which is considered rare. Although it lasted for about 10 minutes and covered an area almost as big as a football field, it was reported to be not harmful. Strong bubbles of mud were produced, but they weren't even hot. This event resulted in the formation of mineral-rich soil, which is beneficial for animals to lick. And that's it for today, guys. Thank you very much for watching the video. Do like it and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos.